Meanwhile, you're always about women's business, always talking about the sisters, always talking to the sisters. They've got mahrams, they've got walis, they've got their guardians, and it isn't you. I mean, I hate to use their terminology, but this is about the most beta thing you can possibly do. Always in the women's section. And the irony is that these are the same ones who are endlessly droning on and on about masculinity. Meanwhile, you can't do the basic thing, the most basic thing that men do as men, which is to ignore women. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean that in an obnoxious way, but women have their world, their sphere, and men have their world and their sphere. But meanwhile, you're always trying to weasel your way into the sphere of women, under the guise of nasiha, under the guise of advice. But you're just like a peeping Tom who's trying to justify why he's doing what he's doing by saying that you're just trying to check up on the sisters to make sure that they're safe. No, it's not your business. The men are over here, brother. Meanwhile, you keep sliding your way back to where the sisters are. And, this is very disrespectful. It's very insulting to their walis. I mean, let's take this offline, Let me catch you on the street talking to my wife or talking to my sisters about how they shouldn't go out, or they shouldn't go to the gym, or they shouldn't go to school, or you don't like the way they're dressed, or what have you. I wish you would. You better hope that that red pill you took is a painkiller, because you're going to be dancing cheek to cheek with the concrete. Yeah.
Get your life, get your life, get your life. Baby, I got my why you can serve my mind. Baby, feeling me, that's why they killing me. Baby, get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life. Baby, I got my why you can serve my mind. Baby, feeling me, that's why they killing me. Get your life. Run up when you see me, no disguises. Keep that thing with me, cause I don't do surprises. J. Chanel, show and tell, all facts, no lies, streak. Get your life, cause I'm the type to come to it that 9 quick. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, get your life, get your life. Baby, I got my why you can serve my mind. Baby, feeling me, that's why they killing me. Baby, get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life. Baby, I got my why you can serve my mind. Baby, feeling me, that's why they killing me. Baby, get your life.
Focus there.
Watch them cause they after me like a pot of gold. I'm not for play, ask Keisha if you don't know. I'm a little bit cray-cray, approach me, you better be right. If you don't come correctly, you can catch these cans tonight. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle's so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, get your life, get your life. Baby, I got my why you can serve my mind. Baby, feeling me, that's why they killing me. Baby, get your life.
Get your life.
Get your life, get your life, get your life. Baby, I got my why you can serve my mind. Baby, feeling me, that's why they killing me. Baby, get your life.
Get your life, boo.
You don't understand. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Good morning, good evening, good night, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to another episode of the Chop Shop. Y'all give me a 1 or 2 down there in the listening lounge that you can hear me. I see Char Willie down there. It's me, Rosie. Just block me, aka Miss J. How you doing? How you doing? Y'all, one of y'all two, give me a 1 or 2 if y'all can hear me down up off in the listening lounge. All right, got a 1 or 2. Music ain't too loud. Hey there, Miss J. How you doing? How you doing? Good to see everybody. I see some folks floating out in the clouds. I got you there, Char. Thank you so very much, folks out hanging out in the clouds with me. Y'all see what's on the screen, so y'all know what we're going to talk about. Got a little bit of time on my hands now, ladies and gentlemen. So first, we're going to start with black folks have been warning us. And I'm going to go ahead and step right on into it and say, I've been telling y'all this time after time. Let me turn down this background music a little bit. Seems like I'm shouting. I don't want y'all to be over here screaming. They think I'm screaming at you. You know what I mean? Let me turn this down just a little bit more. Get the cat out the bag so I can see what I'm doing up off in this piece. Ladies and gentlemen, look at here. Elliot sang again. That's the name of the stream that we're going to be reviewing. He put together a nice little piece. Shout out to a few folks that sent me this piece. Asked me would I take a look at it. So I decided to review it. And folks, I've been saying this, and damn near you can go back to every stream that I have said and that I've ever done on YouTube, from the first one to the last one. Those who forget history or ignore history is doomed to repeat it. So you hear me all the time. These folks try to disqualify what you say because, dare I hold up the quotation marks, because you're old. And another thing I've been saying about as far as this generation of, we're going to use the word for right now, palm colored folks. As one of the streams that I did, y'all told us y'all were going to be better than your grandparents, than your great grandparents. Come to find out, you're not any better. Now it's a lot of people might get upset with some of the things that I'm going to say or some things I'm going to point out, but the chickens come home to roost. So let me go ahead and get this disclaimer out the way right now. I'm not talking about all white folks, but you can't get mad when it's somebody that looks like you is pointing out somebody that looks like me, been saying for generations and generations. It ain't us that needs correcting. It's y'all that need the correction. So let me start with this right here. What we got right here. Now, as y'all saw on this, I put something on the screen earlier. We all heard about the tragic shooting of the young lady. But how many of y'all heard about this? How many of y'all actually heard anyone doing a stream about Keith Porter? How a couple days before Miss Good got shot, this man was shot down by an off-duty, not on duty, off-duty ICE agent. Off-duty. No news headlines. No major world coverage, no CNN coverage, no ABC coverage, just local news, folks. But if I was to say what I'm about to say 5, 6, 7 days ago, folks would have said, no, you just pandering. No, it ain't true. ICE is out there just doing the job because he was probably out there doing something, because that's the narrative they're painting about Mr. Porter right now, that he was out doing something. I live in the country, folks. So I know it's not unusual for someone to go out on New Year's Eve when that clock strikes 12 and bust a couple rounds off in the sky. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I know there's millions of folks that do it. They already said it was his fault. Ms. Jalen, if you look at the headlines here, read the headlines. It says, stolen from us. Family demands justice for Keith Porter, black father, killed by off-duty. But if you go down to the headlines, they say, the ones that did report on it, after assaulting the officer. You see that right there? person shot in the leg by ICE agent after being insulted by officer. That's how they got this painted. That he was doing something he shouldn't have been doing. But they don't paint the whole story. The officer that shot him was off duty. Where was the regular police? Why was it escalated from all of a sudden to a man shooting in the sky to being gunned down with no coverage by an off-duty ICE agent? But yet, it took the killing of a white woman, but to make national news. What's up, Sheed? We here. How you been, my brother? I ain't seen you in a minute. Hope all is well with you and yours. Happy New Year to you. Been a minute. But no coverage, folks, for this man that's on the screen. Left behind children. Just the same thing as the lady that was killed. Left behind a family. The only difference is the color of their skin. He does look like Charleston White a little bit, doesn't he? Sure. Again, because again, you know, my sympathies do go out to the family of the young lady that was gunned down, because everybody's painting this crazy narrative. What's up there, HT Baldwin? Everybody's creating this crazy narrative that she was the villain in this story, and we know now that she's not. But again, hey there, Red Sensational News. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. But again, folks, you know, you've heard me refer to these ICE agents as, you know, as they say back in 1945, you know, them little Secret Service policemen that we run around. But it's a little deeper than that. And it took this next thing that I'm about to show you for me to understand the extent of it. Now, the next time y'all start looking at footage from the ICE raids, tell me who you see behind the mask. There's one thing they can't hide. They might be able to hide some of their face, but what they can't hide is their color. And why ask yourself this? Who are those folks behind those masks? How are they getting trained? What's the reward for them being, hey there, melanated vessel? What's the reward for those guys to just all of a sudden to be taken off the street? 50,000 to sign up to be a modern day slave catcher. The only difference is it's a lighter shade of brown that they're catching now. Listen, let me move this off the screen. I think I'll be able to. Let me move this off the screen. Hold on just a second.
Just like the Gestapo, they're closer to slave catchers. And once that clicks, a lot of people get real uncomfortable real fast. Every time ICE comes up, someone reaches for that Gestapo comparison. And I get why they do it. Raids in the middle of the night, neighbors disappearing, families gone before breakfast. That's the kind of terror that people were taught to recognize, as long as it happened to people that looked like them. But that comparison is doing a whole lot of emotional work that it just doesn't deserve. Because structurally, historically, ICE does not move like the Gestapo. They move like slave patrols. And the reason nobody wants to say that out loud is because slave patrols aren't foreign. They're not exotic. They're not evil elsewhere. They're American, homegrown. Slave patrols were legal, state-funded, community-supported. Their job was simple. Stop people, demand proof, and decide on site who belonged and who didn't.
Now tell me, what's different than what she just explained and pointed out so eloquently from then and now? What is the difference? The only difference is now the folks are of a lighter shade of brown. That's the only difference. But as we find out now, it doesn't make a difference what color you are. Whether all you have to do is be darker than them, and you're subject to being stopped, asked where you're from. Y'all think this business about the Somalis right, wrong, or indifferent, whether they embezzled money or whatever? Ask yourself, have y'all been to Somalia lately? If they got all that money, what the hell did they do with it? They sure didn't invested in that country.
No crime required, no trial, no explanation. Just papers, accent, skin, and presence. That's it. That's the blueprint. They weren't hunting ideology, they weren't fighting enemies of the state. They were enforcing status. Who's allowed to move, who's allowed to stay, who can be taken and who can be returned. And here's the part people really don't want to sit with. Slave patrols are the history that a lot of white families don't talk about because it's not abstract, it's not distant, and it doesn't end with, and the bad guys lost. It sounds like something someone's great-great-grandfather may have done on a Tuesday afternoon. So people grab the Gestapo instead, because the Gestapo says that could never be us. Slave patrols say this is exactly us. The Gestapo comparison lets you condemn terror without interrogating lineage. Slave patrols, however, force you to admit that American terror didn't need a dictator. It needed law, it needed paperwork, it needed permission, it needed neighbors that said, well, that's just how this works. That's why ICE feels so familiar to some and shocking to others, because some of us recognize the pattern immediately. Civil enforcement, administrative power, we're just enforcing the law, you know? Paperwork treated like morality, and families treated like inventory. Different uniforms, different century, same logic. And that's why the Gestapo comparison keeps circulating, because it centers fear once it touches people that look like the ones telling the story. Slave patrols force a deeper realization, right? What if the terror wasn't imported? What if it was foundational? What if it never actually ended, it just learned a new language? ICE.
What if it is, folks? This is homegrown. This is what we're talking about. The slave patrols, you can't talk about in Germany because they have their own name for that. You can't talk about the roundup of this or that. We're talking about the slave patrols that was portrayed in that movie that a sitting president of the United States of America called one of the greatest cinematic movies of all time. And y'all know which movie I'm talking about. The reborn of the Klan, the birth of a nation. Those were what we call modern day slave catchers. Now, let's equate that to today. Where are the Proud Boys? Do you see them marching down the street anywhere? Do you see them holding rallies? No, because they are holding rallies, but they got them behind masks now. Again, go look at the color of these folks' arms. Go look at the color between their mouth and their mask. You don't see too many brothers out there. You don't see too many Latinos out there. But you don't sure enough to see a whole lot of white folks, especially young white men, in ICE, enforcing the very same thing that those slave catchers did back in those days. This modern day ICE is doing now. Anybody care to disagree? I'll drop the link in a little while. Come on up here and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me ICE is not doing the same thing that those slave catchers was doing back in the good old days, as they call it.
Is not an accident, it's not a deviation, and it isn't new. It's old power doing what it's always done, just with updated branding and better PR. And once you see that, yeah, that's the oh shit moment.
That's the oh shit moment. She don't say it like I do, but that's the oh shit moment. And that's what is happening to America right now. They're in that oh shit moment. Trump told us he was going to be rounding up criminals, but he's not. He's rounding up anyone that he don't want to be here, namely people from black and brown countries. Let me ask anybody from Martha's Vineyard, when's the last time you see the ICE agent in your streets? Y'all remember when they took the immigrants up there and dropped them off in Martha's Vineyard? How long did that last? Myself and Shaw talked about that. It lasted one episode. This is not an accident. This is absolutely not accident. Okay, somebody's calling me. Who's calling me? Y'all, excuse me. I should have put my phone on silent. My bad. But anyway, shit happens. But it's not gonna get any better from here, folks. What I'm about to show you now, I'll wait till I have heard something else from this young lady, and but we'll wait for that. Let me show you something else. Let me show you the next thing here. This is what we're gonna talk about here. Let's get right into it.
Let's really talk about it.
Let's
Black
go.
folks have been warning us for a long time, and people not only haven't listened, but even with what's going on, people still don't want to listen. And I think this is a conversation that goes a lot deeper than even just the context of political discourse that surrounds us in America. This is a global phenomenon. But I want to start right here in the homeland, right here in the imperial core, because for one, I think Renee Good would want this to be talked about. I think the folks that have been suffering the brunt of state violence, which we are now becoming more and more unruly against, those folks would want this to be talked about the real way. Before I get into it, I just want to say I'm on break right now, so this is not the most organized type of conversation that I've, had. Just giving some thoughts while I am currently away from home. And I'm doing so off the cuff and in reaction to recent news. I don't think I need to remind you of that recent news. Of course, American imperialism in Latin America and Africa comes to mind, in Asia comes to mind. Of course, European imperialism comes to mind. Shout out to Norway. Norway gets away with a lot. It's also, of course, a reaction to the, American Gestapo, the ICE shootings,
right here.
multiple.
Let me pause this and let me respond to this. They literally put out a list of over 1,000 unalivers, rapists, etc., all illegals. Get out of our country. I agree with you, melanated vessel. I agree with anyone that comes to this country, whether it's legal or illegal, and you have some kind of immigration status, and you do this, you should be deported immediately. But we see that's not what's happening. They're just going after just common everyday citizens. It doesn't make a difference whether they have papers or not. It does not matter whether they're here legally or not. These folks are not giving them, these ICE agents are not even giving them a chance to respond to say, yes, I'm here legally or not. They're just rounding them up. Regardless of whether, I know a lot of us don't agree with that, but the Constitution does talk about due process. It doesn't say whether you're legal or legal. It just says if you're in this country, you're allowed due process. That's just my point on it. But I understand what you're saying. I agree with you wholeheartedly. If one of these guys are guys or girls come over here selling drugs or doing some dastardly deeds, yeah, they should be deported immediately. He says Sharon is pushing the narrative that Tim Walz is inciting the same violence as January 6th. Well, sometimes Sharon can be overboard with a lot of things. And again, I'll say this, I don't mind saying it, like or dislike Sharon. Charisma can be a dangerous thing, folks. And sometimes you can like people too much that you're blind to what they say. Some of the things that Sharon says to me is utterly ridiculous, but I take it with a grain of salt. Well, okay, let me go ahead and say, I'm not fighting for these people who hate me as well. They are all racist, anti-black American as hell. You won't use me or my family. Well, again, Melanated, I agree with you. Again, if you're not for me, then you're against me. And to me, but that's any color. I don't care what you are. If your main threat to me is my sovereignty or my family's sovereignty, I don't care what color you present yourself to be. I'm gonna, but there's enough of America that has that same sentiment right there, that it's not for us. But the whole point of this video is to point that out, that we as a generation of Black folks have been telling you folks this. Now, as Malcolm X would say, now that the chickens are coming home to roost, everybody wants to say, well, how did this happen? Well, if y'all have been listening, the 60s is a good era to start with, since it's modern day, because a whole lot of those folks that was in the 60s on the front lines are still here. They can tell you exactly what happened. They were there. They were being bit by dogs. They were being shot at by water cannons. They were just summarily stopped just because they were getting hit with rubber bullets before we even knew what they were, maced and everything else. A whole lot of these folks are still alive. But you'll listen to some of these streams and they'll tell us the boomers, you shouldn't pay attention to them.
Plural shootings and killings that have occurred, not just the videotaped incident in Minnesota, but in several incidences over the past years, with special attention being brought toward it right now. And of course, I want to say that I'm glad that more and more people are becoming aware, getting more politically engaged, getting more outraged. But outrage can only do so much. If your outrage is reduced to anger that you take out online and catchphrases that you sling around and one or two.
Okay, I again, Melanated Vessel, I appreciate the conversation, but unlike, do the Democrats, although you might not agree with some of their policies, can you really say that the Democratic Party has incited some of the stuff that's going on? Can you really say that the Democratic Party has not tried to warn us about Donald Trump or ICE? Can you really say that the Democratic Party would have elected someone like Pete Hegseth or Kristi Noem? Do you really believe that someone in the Democratic Party would have changed the name from the Department of Defense to Department of War? Do you really think that someone in the Democratic Party would have stood up in front of all the generals with over 40, 50 years experience in the military and called them fat, out of shape, when he can't do 5 push-ups himself? Do you see the Democrats holding rallies, calling people enemies of the state? Again, I don't agree with all the Democratic policies. They got some cleaning up to do. But compared to what we've seen Republicans doing, inciting things, go listen to what some of Tom Cotton has said. Go listen to some of the things that Marjorie Taylor Greene said before she jumped ship. Go listen to some of the things that Lauren Boebert has said. Go listen to some of the things that Ty Cobb has said. Go listen to some of the things, and you guys come in here with this Democratic thing. It's not democratic. It's not about it's about right and wrong here.
Little protest walks. That outrage is more so in service of your own ego than it is in service of the wider community that we're trying to help. And this is something that we've all had to kind of learn, isn't it? It's a recurring story. We've had decades and decades of protest movements that have borne this thesis out. All that said, one of the phrases that we're seeing all over the place in response to the shooting of Renee Good is, that could have been any one of us. And yeah, not wrong. Especially harrowing, when it's the murder of a U.S. citizen, a law-abiding U.S. citizen, despite what the party wants you to believe about her conduct. But it also could have been us when it was Philando Castile.
The system continues to fail Black people, and they will continue to fail you all. Like I said, because this happened with Philando, when they get done with us, they're coming from you.
Who remembers this? Who remembers Anton Daniels, an angry man, and Obsidian, calling this woman a mad, angry Black woman? That she's hurting the cause because she's speaking truth. She's just mad. She shouldn't be the face of her son getting shot. Who remembers Philando Castile when the officer told him, when he told the officer, yes, I have a registered weapon. and the officer told him to reach for it, and he summarily was gunned down in front of his girlfriend and his child. Who remembers Laquan McDonald, that the police put out a narrative that they was coming at him with a knife before they pumped 16 rounds into him, the last 8 while the kid was on the ground. Ended up with a final coup de grace with a headshot. Who remembers Chancellor Bland trying to the world trying to convince us that this woman wanted to unalive herself? Walter Scott, right here in Charleston, South Carolina. These are the things that we were telling y'all. No. And to answer that right there, that's on the screen, they are mostly, now they want us to stand by them. That's always been the case. Remember George Wallace, melanated vessel? Remember how much he declared that he disliked black folks? And at the end of his life, go back in history and look at who took care of him at the end of his life. How he tried to repent. Of course, they're always going to want us to stand by him in the end. Somebody got mad at me when I said use the word resilient about black people, but it's funny that word is popping up more and more every day. Resilient, because that's what we are. We have to be resilient to put up with this shit for so long and not cave in. And the sad thing is, a lot of times it comes from us. It comes from folks like Anton Daniels. Y'all heard what he said over there with Corey Holcomb. We're going to get to that. On one hand, he says he's a Christian, but then on the other hand, he going to spout out non-Christian talking points. How does that work?
For you and all your interracial children. Y'all are next. And you'll be standing up here fighting for justice just as well as I am. I am so disappointed in the state of Minnesota. My son loved this state.
It could have been us when it was the wide variety of victims of state-sanctioned violence. Black men and women, black trans folks, black queer folks, who have consistently been martyred only for no large social media movement, no large political organizing rally to be conducted in response, at least one that, let's say, breaks color lines.
Last week, a man named Keith Porter was killed by an off-duty ICE agent, but you probably haven't heard his name. And while part of that may be because of the ICE agent being off-duty rather than on-duty with a large crowd, we also know the biggest reason why this exists. Keith Porter is a black man, and black men, black women that get killed by agents, officers, don't get the same amount of national attention. Many people online have been very angry at me and other black people for saying not to use the phrase "say her name" when it comes to Renee Good, and this is part of the reason. It has taken 7 days for the average person, and not even the average person, but for people online to find out about Keith Porter, while most people across the country know who Renee Good is within 24 hours. Within 24 hours, people have started marching for her. They have been sharing the stories of her families. They have been talking about her, sharing posts of her, memorializing her, making sure that she...
Is she wrong so far? Within 24 hours, we knew this woman's name. Because they tried to keep it under wraps for a little bit, but somebody leaked her name. But within 24 hours, we knew everything about her. We even knew where she went to high school at. We knew her high school friends. We knew everything about this woman. But yet, 7 days prior, this man was unalived by an off-duty ICE agent, and no one heard of this. When the link was sent to me, that was the first time I heard of it. I heard about this 2 days ago, and I would have talked about this 2 days ago, but I've been watching the news, monitoring the news. This screenshot that you see is as of an hour ago. An hour ago. But if I was to say, well, it should have gotten the same amount of coverage, but the reason why it didn't, because it's just another black man getting unalive, then you're being a racist. And I'm getting tired. That's another thing Anton threw at Corey that I don't understand. That why? Listen, Corey, stick to what you do, bro. If you're a comedian, stick to that. Don't try and jump in a debate with somebody who debates everybody all the time, whether he's right, wrong, or indifferent. You were outmatched in the wits department. Say what you want to. You were not the person to go up against Anton Daniels, and I don't like Anton. We're gonna talk about that. I'm just warming you up. I'm just dropping them breadcrumbs. Get y'all to follow me a little bit. Just dropping them breadcrumbs. Oh, let me close this. I still got to get used to not having the touchscreen. Damn it, man.
He is known. Meanwhile, Keith Porter's family, they've been struggling to get into the news cycle. They've been struggling to have any conversation. And the same defense that ICE agents are using to justify killing Good is the same defense that they're using for justifying killing Porter. They say that he had a weapon and that he pointed it at them first, despite the fact that nobody on the scene concurred that, aside from the officer who shot him. These are the conversations that we need to be having. It's not divisive to ask you to use language that matters. It's not offensive to ask you to consider how you're speaking about an issue, because part of the reason why fascism is happening now in the United States is because certain groups of people have never had to care this much.
How did we let it get so bad? Do you know who could have warned you? Kwame Jones, William Howard Green, Jackeen O'Neal Light, Leonard Parker Jr., Carl Grant, Reginald Payne, Manuel Ellis, Barry Geddes, Donnie Sanders, Breonna Taylor.
These are lived realities for Black folks in the United States. And we often take that almost like it's supposed to happen. It informs us a little bit. It motivates us, especially when we feel particularly aggrieved with the United States, particularly mad at our elected officials, particularly mad at our rich capitalist classes. And then we put it aside and we continue on with our lives, because our lives, in our minds, are something separate from the lives of Black folks, from the lives of poor and working class Black folks, from the lives of Black martyrs. Our political reality is something separate from the Black Panthers. It's something separate from Black organizing work. It's something separate from anti-imperial organizing work. That's just stuff that we get into when we're in the mood. But as far as our lived reality, our everyday experiences, our relationship with our police forces, our relationships to money, our relationships to culture, as non-Black people, all of us view Black histories, Black cultural work, Black activism as separate, as something that's not connected to our own experience, as something novel that we can reach into like a bag of candy, pull out a little Twizzler every now and then, and use it to sugarcoat what we do. This is the kind of thing that you see borne out over and over again. And, you know, there's been multiple TikToks that I will showcase in this video that really speak to this point. This is borne out when you see the wording, the verbiage, the responses, the thought processes that so many people have, and it's not just Americans, we are going to get into it, have in the response to political outrage. Here's one example, and one particular TikTok I'll show you gets into it. It's always Nazi Germany, you know?
Even if we fix this right now, America gonna be right back in this situation in like 2 generations, because white people is not learning a lesson that they need to learn. Because here's the thing, you may not have started the original curse, but you, your mother, your grandmother, your great grandmother, y'all have been feeding the curse generation after generation after generation. And this is the thing.
And she's absolutely right, and that's why I opened it up with this. The generation that's a little bit before me, and the generation that's a little bit after me. That means if you are in your 70s or in your 40s and 50s and late 50s and 60s, y'all told us y'all were going to be better than those people that was in their 50s and in the 60s. Y'all told us that y'all were going to be better than the George Wallaces. Y'all told us y'all were going to be better than the Bull Connors. Y'all told us y'all were going to be better than the Spiro T. Agnews and the Richard Nixons. Y'all told us y'all were going to be better than the David Dukes. Y'all told us that you was not going to stand for this. Y'all were going to, we all under the same color, even so much, a lot of y'all adapted this moniker, I don't see color. I'm not understanding that was the problem. How the hell can you say you don't see color when especially someone as dark as me standing in front of you? What the fuck are you looking at? But someone will look at this video, they won't focus on the word this young lady saying. You know what they'll focus on? Her bonnet. They absolutely lied, One Sphere. They absolutely lied, didn't they? And again, I opened up with the disclaimer, so I'll drop it from time to time from my palm-colored friends that might drop through, whether you disagree with me or not. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me some of this stuff is not inherited and passed along, just like baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet and your grandma's recipe. Tell me that this idea that you folks think that y'all are better than folks of brown and black skin. Well, I don't even see black skin. Somebody had to teach you that. Somebody had to say, yeah. How can you be colorblind? Right. That's the thing I hear. That's a strong indicator to me when someone says, I don't see color. Or I'm colorblind to the fact, no, that tells me something else. You're holding on to something. And it's going to come out eventually. All I got to do is talk to you long enough. But let's continue.
That's blowing my mind. Y'all keep saying Germany. Y'all keep pulling up pictures of German soldiers. Pull up them pictures of your grandparents outside them schools. Pull up the pictures of your great-grandparents at...
I did. You can go back to my archives. I showed a picture of folks that's at Stone Mountain. But every year, 4th of July or holidays or birthdays or something when it's warm, folks are still going to Stone Mountain. Folks are still going to Lookout Mountain. Y'all know what they did to our ancestors over there? If you was the guest of honor at a picnic, as they called it, or a gathering, go look at some of the pictures. If some of those pictures was taken in the 1960s, folks, and these kids were little, some of these children were little. They were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. How old would they be now? They're still amongst us. That's my point. Maybe not some of the grandparents and not some of the elders, but you had some of them kids in them pictures as young as 5, 4, 3, babies in their arms. Them folks are still on this earth. They still got them pictures in their mantles. You just don't see them. And some folks will tell us that there's such thing as a pick a nigga don't count. Yeah, it was just a made up word. Okay. If that's what you want to believe. Okay. Go ahead and believe that. Hey, Angelica, how you doing? How you doing? Let's continue here, folks.
them picnics. Stop talking about Germany when they learned they playbook from a real specific group of motherfuckers who 2 generations they kids is looking at me on this goddamn app right now. Y'all are related to, in the same house as, and breaking bread with the motherfuckers that created this world that we live in today.
Damn. Is she wrong? Is she wrong? Hell no. She ain't wrong. But right now, she'd be considered an angry black woman. I guarantee you, if this video is over there on X, go look at the comments and see how many times the N-word pops up. Or go back to Africa pop up. Why I gotta go back to someplace I've never been to? Why I gotta go back to Africa every time I point out the truth to you white folks? How about if I say go back to Poland? How about if I say go back to Germany? How about if I say go back to Italy every time I get pissed at one of y'all? I'd be right. Because that's where your ancestors came from. But if we say anything about our ancestors in Africa, oh Lord, have mercy. Can't y'all just stop talking about the past? Can't y'all just stop talking about slavery? Can't we just all get along over it? It was so much in the past it didn't affect you, but yes, it did. Because your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren are still reaping the benefits. Remember, cotton was king down here, along with rice, along with tea. I don't live too far from a place they call the tea farm. It stretched for 18 miles of field. How many acres is in 18 miles, folks?
And we warned you, and we warned you, and we warned you, and you warned you.
White people are always ready to compare the Trump administration to Nazi Germany, ICE as Gestapo, Trump as Hitler, etc. It's never white supremacist movements of the 50s and 60s. It's never the Ku Klux Klan. It's never what happened to the Black Panthers. It's never COINTELPRO. It's never Operation Condor. It's never the violence of neoliberalism. It's never the crack epidemic. It's never our various ventures into the Middle East. Those people, the things that they suffered from, the CIA assassination or the FBI assassination of Martin Luther King Jr., those are kind of curiosities. Those are interesting footnotes in a complicated and sometimes quite dark history of.
Absolutely. It's not complicated. It's just dark history. It's not complicated at all, young fella. Fact is fact. Truth needs no alibi. We now know from his own writings that J. Edgar Hoover could consider black men, one black man in particular, Martin Luther King Jr., the most existential threat to the American way of life. Yet his birthday was 2 days ago. What's today, the 16th? Yesterday. How many of us held a vigil or had a conversation about the greatness of Dr. Martin Luther King? I know I plan on doing it this Sunday on radio. I didn't have time to do it yesterday because I was actually out working, but I didn't forget about the man. But we all had time to sit up and talk about Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb for hours. I'm talking about for the folks that was broadcasting live. I'm not talking about for the ones that wasn't. Y'all had plenty of time. Y'all had plenty of time to talk about the greatness of Dr. Martin Luther King and his family and what they did and what they're still doing. Hey, Cynical One, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome in, welcome in. And what they still doing. You go over the Izzy bands, they talking about how y'all ladies' underwear fit. What bra size you should have. You go over the CT and what he talking about over there. You can't go over to Jay Prince no more. Nigga ain't got no channel. Good for you. A whole lot more trash need to be swept out. I don't mind that a Jay Prince is gone. It's a left place for imperious to come at, infiltrating our spaces, taking it back. See, this is what they're talking about. It's all right for us to talk about their woman. Down on this level, we got the Jay Princes we got to deal with. We got the angry mans we got to deal with. But up on the upper echelon, you like Joy Reid, they got the Stephen A. Smiths to deal with. They got the Jason Whitlocks to deal with. Somebody got the nerve to ask me, what business is it of yours, Mr. Music? Why you seem like you always against the Trump policy and the Trump regime? Why the fuck would I be why would I be for it? Why would I celebrate a man that's a known felon? Let felon get on one of your brother's record and go out and try and get a job. Y'all niggas out here celebrating the downfall of black women. Oh, Oh, they coming back to the table because they done lost their job. They coming back to the table. Watch and see. Get your Astro van ready, according to BGS. Bubblegum shit is what I call him. Already been chewed. But them's the leaders, the Obsidian. Call that nigga Mississippi. M.I. crooked letter. That's why he sit down all the time, because the nigga can't stand up. He can't stand up without leaning. But these are the fucking heroes. These are the guys that everybody flocks to. I'm saying me too, because I watch these niggas. I don't watch them for some of the reason that y'all watch them, but I watch them. I'm over there. I'm over there on Jay Princess before his channel got chopped down. Over there trying to get at this white dude called himself Imperious, and some left-handed nigga gets in the way. Some left-handed nigga gets in the way. And if I'm using the word nigga and it offends anybody, I'm sorry, but y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about black men and women. Just like when I say women, if you clearly or hear me, there's a difference. Women and women's. Got to deal with both of them over here. Because some of y'all women's will sit up there and let Angry Man curse you the fuck out. Or let DJ Hamp curse you the fuck out, tell you you're average. Or talk up under your skirt. Or think they might have a crush on you because you cursing them out. That's right. We got a lot of them womans, Angelica. It's an ass on them womans around here. It's an ass of them. But it ain't my place to call them out. I'm going to leave that to the women. It ain't my place to call them out. All right there, ABT. I'll drop the link. We got a whole lot to cover because, I was going to wait to the Anton, but if you want to come on up now, come on up. Let me grab this link here right quick. Let me drop it. Anybody else want to join? Hey, listen, let's have some fun, but let's keep it on topic. If y'all don't mind, please. Let me make sure I copy this right. Okay. If y'all don't mind. Go ahead and grab the link. If you don't mind, don't ask you for none of your hard-earned money, but if you don't mind, like and share and subscribe. Tell your friends about us over here. I appreciate it. Keep your hard-earned money. Spit it, don't give it to. If you're married, buy your wife something. If you're married, buy your husband something. If you got grandkids, go out and buy him a Snickers or a Milky Way bar or something. But if you feel like you want to donate to the cause here, by all means. But you'll never hear me say like Angry Man. All right, look here. Wait a minute. If y'all don't start hitting the link, y'all don't start supporting the stream, I'm going to stop what I'm saying. I ain't going to do that. What's up there, ABT? How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey now, how you?
I'm good. You driving?
I am. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't me. I hear that background music. I'm like, what is that?
That's probably from not my side. Is it too loud for you?
Okay, it feels like it. I don't want to scream.
All right, I'll turn it down a little bit more. I might hear it differently from you.
Okay.
Let me turn it down a little bit better. All right, there you go.
Yeah. So I'm driving. I didn't, the one I wanted to come up because I'm driving, and I didn't want to be typing while I'm driving.
I understand that. It makes much better sense. Both hands on the wheel. You can always talk.
Yes.
Good deal.
Practicing safety. Hey, everybody.
So what you think about this video so far, there, ABT?
Well, you heard. I mean, I think the young man hitting on,
He on point. He on point, isn't he?
Yeah. Yep. That's why I wanted you to see it.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. What's up there, Black Hawk? What's up, player? I gotta say that you're a player from the Himalayas.
Coming down off the slope.
All right. Let's go ahead and continue here. And
Sure.
what's more impressive? What's more impressive about this ABT? Before I continue to play, he's a young man, and he's reaching out to a crowd that would normally ignore this.
Oh, absolutely. I think there definitely needs to be more discussion. I think us black folks probably need to, or maybe we don't. It feels like it's an unwritten, code going on that we all kind of, not all of us, but many of us understand, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
and Kimberly Baum says, "Please be safe." Hey there, Kimberly. How you doing? Welcome. Great to see you. So let's continue on with the video here.
The world we live in today. Those are always peripheral. That's why it's the periphery. That's why Black Americans are a colonized people. This is something that I think a lot of people are not quite coming to grips with, and we will see that discourse play out over the next couple of years. We will see the use of the term internal colonies become popular, but not right now, because white people have this tendency, every time they get back into their outrage bag, every time they get back into their political commentary bag, every time new progressive movements form, thankfully, new social justice movements form, thankfully, and white people find themselves with platforms at the forefront of it, they're always in their minds inventing fire. They're always in their minds stumbling upon brand new ideas that they just have to share with everybody. So now that they've just figured out that imperialism is a thing.
Okay, case in point, I'll give you a great idea of what he just saying. Michelle Obama for years was pushing this healthy eating idea. Now, if you go back to Fox News and all those other folks, they was, now they trying to tell us what to eat. If I want to eat French fries, if I want to use salt and all this other stuff, Sean Hannity and The Five and all them was screaming that Michelle Obama was trying to force people to eat healthy. Now, all of a sudden, that they see them there, everybody around them is George Two-Ton Harris, and now they want to push this idea of healthy eating like it's brand new. Even what's the lady's name, Laura Ingraham, finally he said it. She didn't mean to say it, but she said it out loud. Maybe Michelle Obama was on to something. Huh. That's just a prime example, folks, like I keep saying. And again, no disrespect to my palm-colored folks that's watching, but the only thing y'all invented really was the patent office. And I'll ask.
That's right. So they could keep stealing.
Right. brought her off for that one. Oops. Right there, HT. Oops. Cat's out the bag, ain't it? No disrespect, but truth is truth. I know. Lie don't care who tell it, but the truth stands alone. Tell me I'm wrong. And I can back that up with theory. I can back this theory up with fact, I should say. What real reason did Eli, what is the guy that said he had the cotton gin, they invented the cotton gin, what reason did he have to invent it? He wasn't out there picking cotton. Do you think he give a damn how long them folks was out in the field? As long as he got the job done. Did you think he sat in his house one day and said, you know what? It sure is hot out there. I need to find a way for them 200 slaves out there that's picking that cotton every day from sun up to sundown. I need to find a way to make it easier for them. Yeah, I know. The cotton gin. Or could it have been the reverse? One of them folks out, them slaves out there thinking, shit, we got to find an easy way to do this. How many inventions has white America stolen? Literally stolen. That's the only thing he would tell them. Y'all better pick more faster. That's what he'd have told them, HT. Pick more faster. I don't care how you get it done. You remember the scene from Blazing Saddles? We got this track to hide. We got this road to clean up by sundown. Hey, boss, you're not working. Let's move on.
Hey, you need to clip something. Clip that shit. Clip it, nigga, because that right there.
Clip that. Clip that shit, nigga. Clip that.
Oh my God, yes.
I was talking to someone the other day, and I don't know what maybe came out my head with it, but I just came out. Well, actually, two words came out. One where she was talking about something wiper, so I just came. I remember from that wipers. Guys came on out. So you never know what's gonna come out of my mouth over here, folks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So if you
Right.
hear
If you
me
know,
clap,
you know. If you know,
right,
you know.
right. Yeah, if you know, you know. If you're in the know, you're in the know. Okay, just like that green book. If you're in the know, you're in the know. Ain't that right, ABT?
Facts. I'm waiting on the 2026 edition. The
We
Dibs are
need an addition.
necessary.
We
Absolutely.
need a new. We need a
Absolutely.
resolution to it. We sure do.
Okay.
We sure
Yeah.
do.
And there's some other things I'm not certain how far along this is in the video, if it's near the end. Um, but just in relationship to what you were speaking on earlier,
Hmm.
like this deserves to be covered, right? I do wish more of us were speaking about this, but also like in so there's so much that's been happening that we're having 30-hour long conversations about, and multi-day conversations about. But
Yeah.
well, there's another piece to all of that that needs to be discussed, and that's like what's the overarching theme here? Like what? So when you get through with this, I'll speak more specifically to what I'm talking about. Because there are
Okay.
things happening, and I think we're getting caught in the trap of disagreement.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, other things are happening to trigger another course of action federally. And I don't think
Are,
we're paying attention.
are
You know
you
what
saying?
I'm saying?
Are you saying don't fall for the okie doke, ABT?
Absolutely. We're getting caught
Okay.
up. Yeah, we're getting caught up. There's nuances we're getting caught up in, and that's not really what we need to be paying attention to. We need to
Agreed.
remember the objectives of this administration. We need to remember the objectives of Project 2025, and we need to be looking at things through that lens to see, like, how does it serve that purpose, right? So these
And
assassination
listen,
efforts, like, how is that serving to usher in the objectives of Project 2025? And once you start looking from that
well,
place, it looks a little different.
yeah, and if you go to there is a site that actually monitors everything that's gone on so far that Project 2025 has implemented. Myself, you, ABT, Shar, and a few other folks. We've covered a Project 2025 in length. Folks didn't believe us. They talked about we were just
Absolutely.
scared
Right,
cats.
right, right, right,
But
right. But now
you can go.
we're
Go
looking
ahead.
at so like even if we're dealing with federal power versus local state power and what's being weakened there, right? And just think about like this you talking about Minneapolis is a Midwest state, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a difference between something like that happening in New York and something like that happening in California.
Mm.
We're not paying attention. Is
Yeah.
the intersection of class there? There's a lot of
I,
what I'm saying. So like I think that we need to be having a different kind of conversation about this, but we so caught up in and also wanting to make this a gender war thing as well, right?
I,
But
right.
but
Listen, it's
we missing it. We're missing
right.
the broader perspective.
Absolutely, I think so. There's always a method to someone's madness. But let me refer to this. Kevlord 4795. You said this administration is opening up doors if you know how to utilize them. Okay, what doors for the common man is this administration opening up for? Certainly
All
not
the
when it comes
while
to.
ushering in excessive federal force of power,
Okay,
like all the while giving more power to the executive branch. Pay attention, like we getting caught up in
right.
places.
So
You know what I'm saying? We're not being aware, and it's the pretty shiny things conversation all over again. Music, the pretty shiny things.
absolutely.
Okay, this is how they get you,
Absolutely. Right. And
and
folks
people will forego and overlook because they focus on the pretty shiny things.
Absolutely, and that's why I keep referring to that Shaka Zulu. And if you folks have ever watched the episode of Shaka Zulu, as Shaka Zulu is getting older, and things are about to wind down, his reign is about to come to an end. He realizes, and he mentioned that said thing, that shiny thing, that he realized that for the years of that he thought he was in rule, it was the actually British that was bringing him shiny things to make him do the actual bidding. It's a pretty powerful scene, so I would suggest any of you folks to go and look for the shiny thing scene, where Shaka Zulu is having a talk with one of the British generals. But he considered for a long time friend. I think he called him Baba or something like that. I'm not sure what he called the general, but that's a scene you would definitely want to check out. It was definitely a great movie. And then I think a lot of us could, we call ourselves warriors. A lot of us, I'm not saying that everything Shaka did was good, but hey, that's all I'm saying. I'm going to leave that there. But let's continue here.
Now that they've just figured out the core periphery distinction a little bit, they've figured out that what we have in this country is built off of what we do to other countries, what we do to a global proletariat, a global exploited class. Now they want to tell everybody about it. They can't wait to tell you. Did you know what we do in the Congo? Yes. Yes. Did you know in Palestine? Yes. Right. And this is not me speaking from an arrogant standpoint, or I'm attempting not to be arrogant about it, because there's a lot that I'm still learning. And sometimes I'm guilty of this too. But, what happens in the process is then inevitably black folks will chime in and white people will speak over them all over again, as if these black folks are not speaking from the histories and experiences and the knowledges that have been built off of studying this.
I.e. Megyn Kelly. Every time Megyn Kelly opens her mouth, it's something. It is to tell how black people how wrong they are. Get over it. I.e. Fox News just dribble the basketball. Even though I don't agree that LeBron James being a spokesman, but at least he had the ear. But just shut up and dribble. Colin Kaepernick, man, lost an entire career because he refused to kneel. And when you point out the obvious to these folks, that he's talking about mainly about the third stanza of the so-called song that they want everybody to sing, they just ignore that. Say he's being difficult. Come on, man. The bells and whistles is out there. Folks been saying this for years. I only have to go to the 60s. I can't go back to the 50s. I can only go from what my parents told me about a certain age in time that my older siblings, my aunt and uncles went through.
Very dynamic for centuries, which you are just now getting more active in your resistance towards. Case in point, there are these constant arguments about Black Americans this. Every time something happens to a non-Black person that bothers them, the first thing they think about is how much they hate Black people. It's really telling because, I see a post on Tumblr about Pride Month, and it's this, young person clearly from like New Zealand who's angry about American exceptionalism and American imperialism and how it's distorted queer histories in New Zealand and Maori histories. And who's the subject of their ire? It's not white gay folks. It's not the bourgeois queer classes in the United States that are predominantly white. It's not white supremacy. They're mad at Black trans women. Oh, Marsha P. Johnson has nothing to do with queer histories in New Zealand, right? What the hell do Black trans women have to do with this? Why is the subject of your ire Black folks, right? But they do this every time. They figure out something about how the world works, and they cannot wait to say, Black people have not told me about this. Black people actually don't realize this. Black people think they're the only oppressed people. Black people have a perpetual victimhood mentality. Even some of the most self-proclaimed far-left people.
And how many times have we heard that, folks? This perpetual victimhood that Black people always express. We just heard Anton just the other day in his fight with Anton Daniels say that very same thing. These folks have hijacked Black fatigue. They have hijacked the word woke. And they're using it against us now, that we should, these very things that we've been pointing out to y'all for years. Woke meant keep yourself aware of your surroundings. Don't go into these sundown towns He ain't lied yet, has he, Angelica?
Will fall into the same rhetoric time and time again, and it's tiring. It's tiring because within a couple of years, as I mentioned, we're gonna be like, oh, did you know that the United States has internal colonies? You don't say. You don't say that some of the places that we would consider colonies are technically within the borders of the United States, technically part of U.S. states. It's a conversation that somehow was skirted about Hawaii. It's a conversation we're going to be having about Puerto Rico as Bad Bunny performs for the Super Bowl soon. But folks still do not acknowledge that there are Black Americans in predominantly Black as well as brown neighborhoods, inner cities throughout the United States that still don't have clean drinking water, that don't have clean air to breathe, that have completely broken down housing situations, that live materially in conditions that are quite similar to many within the Global South. And that likewise, there are many people living quite nicely in the Global South, which is not to say that the extraction dynamic and the imperialism dynamics don't extend outside of the United States and don't often take place, or most of the time take place outside of US borders. But borders don't got nothing to do with it. Capitalism is a process of extraction. It is a process of sorting out who are the extractable classes, who are the exploited classes.
Well, let me answer that right there, Mike Smith. Do you think whites can walk in Black areas after dark? My question to you is, why would you want to be there after dark? What's your purpose there?
Oh yeah, they do. They did about that cocaine, motherfucker. That's
What is
motherfucking
your
crack
purpose there?
and they goddamn meth. That's what they doing.
Okay, again, if that's not your neighborhood and you don't live there, what are you doing there after dark? What are you doing there? Why are you there? Why are you testing to see whether you can? But we all now know there's documented footage of Black people just walking in the neighborhood in broad daylight and telling them that you can't be there. We got documented cases of school books that said for colored folks only. We got documented cases of where we've said there's Black restrooms only for colored folks only. Don't miss me, but that shit don't come up in here, Mike Smith, not unless you're ready to get fired on. You can go to any area you want to. There's some areas of the Black neighborhoods I wouldn't go to after dark. The fuck are you talking about? But you can come to my neighborhood after dark if you want to. You know why? Because I can't say there's never been no crime here, but the chances of you getting mugged in my neighborhood is too slim and none. The fuck? That's a dumb question.
Listen, all I know is they do it all the time, okay?
Okay.
They do it all the motherfucking time. The Tina,
Where the weed at?
Yeah, they want
Where
it.
the weed at?
The Tina,
Right.
the Nina. Yeah, they want
Okay.
that.
Stop it.
Yes,
The
that's
hell.
what they doing. Come on now. They ain't dying from a gunshot. They dying from that fucking overdose.
Look here.
How about
Right.
that?
Look here,
Clip
Mike. Don't come up.
Tell 'em. Clip it,
Clip
nigga.
him again. Clip it. Look here, Mike. Don't come up here trying to get no reputation off me. Wrong fella. Wrong dude. I'm not that one. Yeah, I'm not that one. What's mostly white there, Kev?
And part of how
What are
you
you
do
talking
that
about?
is through race. It's through racialization, because racialization justifies caste, and caste justifies extraction. It justifies exploitation. You can learn this in India, right? You can learn this in the case of Indian history. Why is there a class of untouchables? Because somebody has to pick up the poop, because somebody has to be the janitor. And we have to have a system through which we can continuously justify who has the worst jobs and who gets paid the least to do.
And Donald Trump told y'all that. He told you when he was going to get elected, he was going to bring back the Black jobs. How was he going to bring back the Black jobs? He told you that he was going to get rid of all the Latino folks first. And then you Black folks can get your job back. What's a community there, Kev Lord? Because you guys always come over there dropping this your community. What is a community, sir? Let's get to there first. Let's get to community. Put your definition of community and let's see it. Don't look at Google. Because I guarantee you, when you look up the word community, there's nothing in it that says color. Okay? There's nothing in that that'll mention color. You don't mention people, but it won't mention color. So miss me with that. Try again, Kev. I'll put it on the screen for you. Give you a little time to look it up. Wrong guy. I told you that. You're not going to come in here and get no reputation off me tonight. Wrong motherfucker. Okay?
the stuff that nobody else wants to do. All of this is to say that black folks have been telling us this for a long time. Black folks have been telling us about state-sanctioned violence for a long time. Black folks have been talking about police abolition for a very long time. And it has...
No, my neighborhood is not mostly white. If that's what you're referring to. No, my neighborhood is not mostly white. I live in a mixed, I won't call it a neighborhood because it's not like you can walk down the street and the next house is there. If that's what you're referring to. No, it's not mostly white. No, sir.
Has become this red flag discourse, this something that triggers white folks, right? Abolish the police, abolish the police. But now that you have something attached to the Trump administration and branding, empowered by the Trump administration, and something that actively and aesthetically and remorselessly targets U.S. citizens who are sometimes white, all of a sudden it's abolish ICE. All of a sudden abolition is a popular concept because when it affects white people, they go from going like this to going like this. Does that make sense? And this is not something that is exclusive to just white people. This is a reality among non-black people globally, especially white people globally. There are many of us who are diligent in trying to learn from black Americans as well as other marginalized groups throughout the world. But there are many, many more of us, it seems, who are almost resolute in maintaining a dominant position socially over black people. One of the things you hear also about Americans is, oh, when are Americans going to revolt? I love this one. I want to sip some water before I talk about this one. Why don't Americans do what they're doing in Paris, what they've done in Paris? Why aren't they doing...
Wait a minute, folks. I want everybody to get your mics out because he's about to get you with a mic drop moment here. Something I've been saying for forever. But when you bring up the civil rights movements, folks will tell you that shit didn't work. But listen here. Listen to this. Listen to this.
What's happening in Nepal? Oh, it's because Americans are so silly. They're so stupid. They're so uneducated. They're so selfish. Meanwhile, police precincts were getting burned in 2020. Resistance actions have been happening throughout the United States every single year. And it's black and it's brown folks that are often leading the charge. Right in this moment, you can look up Cooperation Jackson in Jackson, Mississippi.
What? It's mostly black and brown folks leading the charge. That's why they're calling for us now, because we're not out there this time. Y'all created this mess, white folks. Y'all put Donald Trump back in office after we told you not to. After we told you Project 2025 was real. After we told you.
We tried to told them. Then we tried to told them. We tried to told them. We tried to told them. And
we tried to tell you.
And here we are.
Drop them mics, because he just had a white drop moment because he tried to tell you. Drop them. Don't be shy. Let my man finish talking.
Which is led by black folks, primarily economic solidarity programs, a solidarity network, a political network aimed at improving the material conditions for black and brown folks in Jackson, Mississippi. You can look this up right now and figure this out, right? You can learn about Chris Smalls right now, Amazon labor organizer, went to Palestine, was tortured by the IDF. You can learn about this, right? It's right there for you. But rather than look at that and say, some Americans are resisting and some aren't, and why is that? We would rather pretend that America is this united bloc.
Okay, let me address this one. He says, the young man is very correct, but we not interrupt our enemies when they are destroying themselves. And DJT is a disruptor. We need to stop complaining. I'm not even going to answer that, man. I'm not even, no.
Where everybody benefits the same, or at least benefits close enough, and the marginalized groups in the United States are just these selfish, perpetually victimized bourgeois classes that don't care about the rest of the world. And who said that? Because at the same time, y'all are the type of people to cite Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X and James Baldwin as your heroes, people who were stringent in talking about solidarity with the third world. Anti-Vietnam War, pro-communist, pro-Palestine. Black folks have been on those waves literally for decades. And in the 2020s, in 2023, frankly, white folks found out about Palestine, read a couple of articles and were like, these damn black people have been lying to me because Palestinians are the real victims. How did you get there? How did you skip so much and get there? It's infuriating and it's frustrating because it's not just a dynamic that plays out in the United States. That kind of rhetoric is just another version of American exceptionalism. The idea that America is just so unique in its idiocy, so unique in its backwardsness, culturally, so unique in its selfishness. You know, you hear European folks lecture Americans about whether it's the protesting thing as.
And who do you think he's talking about? Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan lived over there in the UK, but he always got something to say about what the hell's going on over here. Same cat that was defending Lily Gaddis. You know, the white bitch that got on decided to say, hey, let me dress up a Halloween as a black woman and do my best poor imitation of a black woman. Come on, I'm not here to make you feel good today. I'm here to make you think. Is he wrong? Not according to them folks down in the chat room so far. He ain't wrong.
They ignore what Black Americans have constantly been doing, or whether it's about capitalism, as if Europe is not dominated by a capitalist class anchored by the EU, which primarily benefits from the profit of extraction from the third world, just like the US, in coordination with the US. European folks will lecture Americans about racism in American society. They're like, I can't get my head around how a country could be so racist. Like, literally everything in America is because of racism. As a European, I can't believe this. Are you serious? Really? You might want to think a little bit harder. These ideas of nation states and borders have clouded your mind. Because in France, y'all's whole economy is anchored on West Africa and France Afrique. Oh, you don't think we know about France Afrique? You don't think we've heard about Burkina Faso? You don't think we know about South Africa? You don't think we know about Kenya, Uganda? Europeans have been benefiting from colonial extraction for so long, and they've only done it in a sense.
So what makes you think that Donald Trump is not pulling the same old player card again? Trying to tell us that he's not at Venezuela after that oil. Under the guise
you don't get that these motherfuckers ain't too bright. You know, you don't get that these niggas ain't too bright, sir. Listen, Pearl's by Anna Kasparian, but you know, niggas couldn't never. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of niggas following the pearly things. Okay,
yeah, just pearly
niggas. These the same niggas that's holding Pearl's big old dick. So, you gotta see who's who here. These motherfuckers ain't great at all. They gonna miss everything.
I heard Anna Kasparian wiped the floor with just pearly things.
Yeah, she did. She did. But I'm just saying, these the same folks that follow her.
Yeah, those are the ones that platformed her. They said she was going to take them to the mountaintop. Remember?
Oh yeah. So when right, Molly Wops, and I don't care at all. I ain't got.
No, I don't either. To be quite honest with you. Let's go ahead because we'll get on Anna Kasparian and it'll be trouble.
You're gonna have to review it though.
Those extraction patterns happen more outside.
Oh, you know I am. Of course, you know I am.
Outside of the borders of the country. And European countries are the size of American states, sometimes American cities. And so it's essentially like you have these floating states full of white people whose economies, again, are founded on extraction from the third world. And then they have the nerve to be like, but we don't do systemic racism. We have like good labor protections. Europeans have good labor protections. Europeans work less hours in a day. Europeans take siestas. It's like, yeah, because your economy is anchored on industries that are either American or that are, you know, in the third world. Like that's how y'all figured it out. Same way the United States figured it out. The United States is a settler colonial project, which is European in origin. White Americans are European. But anti-blackness, oh, that's not relevant. But what
this
black
man is chasing damn boring. Put him on full mass.
Okay. Hannah Arendt, everybody's favorite left-leaning thinker, with all the quotes that are near and dear to Western progressives' hearts. Hannah Arendt had a lot of smoke for Frantz Fanon. Hannah Arendt did not understand Frantz Fanon. Hannah Arendt said Frantz Fanon was justifying violence, because he wrote that violence is a key part of how the colonized gains its own sovereignty. Hannah Arendt said 2 wrongs don't make a right. Hannah Arendt downplayed the realities of violence in the colonies, because she didn't want to look at what a Martinican French psychologist and philosopher had to say about the realities of violence faced by colonized people every single day. And to this day, even European progressives maintain this kind of hostility towards black decolonial thought. Aimé Césaire told y'all about yourselves a long time ago on the subject of Nazi Germany. Aimé Césaire wrote that the European was aghast at what happened through the Nazis because it was the same type of violence and dehumanization and imperialism targeted towards other Europeans.
If you're going to some of your boy's writings, I won't say his name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. He says they learned their torture methods from us. That's the U.S. I don't mean us, the U.S. So again, folks, for those of you that want to defend on what's going on right now, hey, for those of you that thought that Donald Trump was going to be that guy for you, that for those of you that think that Donald Trump is over in Venezuela because the drugs that are being funneled in, again, let me speak on this. The boats that they blew up, folks, would have never reached American shores. They weren't that seaworthy. They wouldn't have made it. They wouldn't have had enough fuel. Those were harbor boats. That's something you hang around. You don't go no farther than the jetties in. If you for those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know once you get out in the jetties, it's starting to get a little choppy. That's right. That's why it's good to have smart people down in the audience.
And there were constant cries of this is not who we are, and this is not the kind of conduct that is acceptable in Europe. I mean, it was for the centuries in which you accumulated all of this exploited wealth from the third world. Then the violence was fine for Europeans. What the Belgians did in Congo was totally fine. But once the Germans did what they did, now all of a sudden we got to talk about barbarism and violence and fascism. White people always find a way. Non-black people always find a way. Whether it's in South Korea, a country hell-bent on exploiting black American culture whilst looking down continuously on people on behalf of their skin color. You know, upholding European beauty standards and European standards of thought, European capitalist standards, American capitalist standards, aspiring through its elites to that kind of white supremacy. Same like in Japan or in Latin America. Something I've talked about very recently, something very near and dear to my heart. Black people have been telling you about Latin America. Not just black Americans. Afro-Latinos have led charges to deconstruct Latinidad, have led charges to talk about why white supremacy is dominant in Latin America, why the elites of Latin America remain either the descendants of or new versions of the European settler classes that created Latin America in the first place. And all this talk about salsa and empanadas and comida criolla, all this stuff is just whitewashed versions of African and indigenous lived realities to be branded as.
I got to pause that. Okay, Kevlar, you said black people are actually winning right now. Of course, YT going to do what's in their nature. But what y'all doing? Is this reset? What are we winning at, sir? What can black people do as a whole? And I'm not, believe me, I'm not right now. I'm not shitting on my people, but what power do black people hold that we can change any laws, any rules? Where's this reset gonna come from? So black people are winning at what? What are we winning at? Because we have a few black elites, because we have a few more black millionaires than from some years ago. Black people are still not living in poverty in much of America. Black people are still without clean drinking water when this is supposed to be the most richest country in the world. Some of the very people that's been affected by these government jobs layoff, it's been black women in particular, where the unemployment rate went from I think 4 point something to damn near 7.5. So what are we winning at, sir? What's the reset?
Latino, branded as something new, branded as something better than backwards Africans. The role that Haiti played historically in liberating Latin America, I mean, there is nowhere near the same level of success for Simon Bolivar without the contributions of Haitians and without what the Haitians did in IT. Only for Simon Bolivar, who was an avowed abolitionist, to not free the slaves. Over and over again, black folks are there. Right there. The uprisings, the slave.
Even in their own constitution, the United States Constitution that these folks hold so near and dear, the founding fathers had an absolute chance before that was drafted, written, and ratified to completely remove slavery. But what they choose to do. Slavery was supposed to be abolished in 1807, I do believe, by the British. 1808, the Americans followed suit. But we all now know it wasn't until June 19th that the last folks were removed from slavery. What's up there, Silent? What's up there, Devil Dog? How you living? We know that. We know that for sure. So miss me with that. I don't have to pull up Google to be right on facts.
Revolts, the Haitian Revolution, the Black Marxism in the 20th century, Walter Rodney, Franz Fanon, W.E.B. Du Bois, though he has some ableism that we don't talk about in his work, the James Baldwins, and even now, folks don't want to read Olufemi Taiwo. Folks don't want to read Angela Davis. Folks still want to figure it out without learning from the people that experienced the brunt, the harshest end of this capitalist imperialist project for centuries and centuries.
Centuries and centuries. And you know how I'm so aware of it, folks?
Okay.
Because music takes you everywhere. If you go back to some of the greatest artists in the world, one thing they do, each one of them have in common, they'll tell you that I had to get out of the United States of America to be who I was. Because I couldn't do it here. Why? Because of the color of my skin. Where's the reset, fella? Ask Quincy Jones. Ask Nina Simone. You can't ask him. Ask Richard Little. Excuse me,
Ask
Little Richard.
Coltrane. Ask Coltrane.
Ask Cole.
You can't,
Ask
but you
Coltrane.
can't. But
You
you know
can't.
what I'm saying. Yeah, these were some of our
Mo-
giants behind the civil
Thank you.
rights. The
Okay.
music
Thank you
behind the
there.
civil rights movement. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you there, Silent. Talking about Marvin Gaye, what's going on to me? One of the greatest songs ever created in world. Folks look at it as it's just, no, this is artistry. A song long before its time. What's going on? Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. Marvin Gaye told us that song 40 years ago. And y'all folks, when we do try and talk to you, strange fruit. Come on. You see how powerful music is? That's why I
Hanging from
preach
the
it. That's why I
poplar
live it.
tree.
And
Black
you go
bodies
through all,
swinging.
what?
Mhm.
Come on.
Go on now. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, see right here, Kevlar, this is what I'm talking about. When confronted with truth, this is what y'all revert to. This was folks like you revert to. Y'all just going to complain for another 3 years and take advantage of these systems that are being taken down. It's a complaint. That's what I'm saying. To you, it's a complaint. But to us, it's reality. To you, it's nothing. That's more to what we're talking about to you today. Kevlar is no more to you than an inconvenience. But for thousands of black folks that's still alive from the 60s, the 50s, the 70s, even
Man,
the 80s.
music Listen, these niggas ain't gonna do shit but trick that shit off on some prostitutes in another country somewhere. I'm gonna
Okay,
need them
all
to
right.
shut the fuck up about that
We know about
bag,
that.
okay?
We know
You
about
understand
we
what I'm
know about
saying?
that. We know about the
Okay?
Proud Boys.
They,
We know about
okay.
we know about them
I'm
Passport Brothers.
there you go. That's it. That's all they trying to do. Get your bag up so you can flex for the pretty shiny
The-
things.
we gonna
Uh-huh.
get to the bag chasers in a little while. We gonna get to the bag chasers.
Created forms of life in resistance to it, forms of life separate from it, forms of resistance, forms of rebellion, forms of culture, forms of intellectualism, forms of spirituality, forms of romantic concepts, all in response to that domination. And there's a whole massive canon of black authors that will teach you about this world that you're just coming into. And you still don't want to read them. You still don't want to take their words seriously. You still use them for decoration. And you don't take them to heart. And this is the reality that we live in. A world where globally anti-blackness is still this dominant force, in part because nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to center it. Nobody wants to give it air. Everybody wants to act like it's an unfortunate coincidence that this capitalist, billionaire rigged, extractivist, misogynist project that is the United States, as well as other global north countries coming into awareness of this. Everybody wants to act like that project, having black people consistently at the economic bottom, at the cultural bottom, at the social bottom of its hierarchy, is a coincidence. Something that will just clear up if we just, tax the rich a little bit more. Oh, if we just tax the rich a little bit more, and if we just protest a little bit harder, and if we just, if we just get a bunch of white guys with guns, we'll sort this thing out. As if the white guys don't have guns so that they can maintain that system. As if as soon as the Black Panthers armed themselves, the NRA became interested in gun control. As soon as
them black folks showed up at that government building with them guns, laws were changed immediately. Look it up if you don't believe me. The existential threat to America, to some folks, it's not the Proud Boys. It's black people getting on their feet. And like that video that I reviewed the other day, y'all want to think it's the brothers that they after. No. It's y'all black women. That's the real threat. That's the real threat. Not me. Y'all. That's why they don't want us to protect y'all. That's why these streams like Cellulite, Podcasts, and Angry Man, and Easy Bands, that's why they get so much traction. That's why the folks be showing up. Where they come from? Where they come from?
the black person comes into the picture,
I'll be right
all the
back.
non-black people come together and figure out how they can keep the black person at the bottom and use them so that they can maintain some level of resources, some level of economic advantage comparatively. And the light-skinned brown people and the East Asians, they're more than happy to stay underneath white people so long as they remain above black people. Even certain indigenous folks who have long been in solidarity with black people and who have had long, for a long time, movements in connection with black people and a shared struggle with black people. Even certain indigenous folks don't listen to black people, don't like black people. And frankly, this is a conversation that's not really for me to have. There's a lot of black people that don't listen to black people. In 2026, there is not a single person who I am interested in listening to if they haven't committed themselves to learning from black history.
Oop. Now you see why I say it. How the hell you gonna tell me about black history when you literally try to disown it, Anton, Angry Man? Fuck you gonna tell me about anything when I lived it? When my pops lived it, when my moms lived it, when my elder siblings lived it, when my uncles lived it. How the fuck you gonna tell me, BGS, that the black women coming back to the table when y'all niggas ain't got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out? That the welfare system kicked us black men out the home. They ain't kicked me out of mine. They kicked you out of yours because you wasn't shit. And that black women got tired of you laying up on the couch scratching your dusty ass balls all night. Fuck it. This man, that the government gonna give me some money. You don't want to get up, get your ass out. She should have put you out. Angry man. Your wife got you're angry man. Your wife got tired of you screaming in the middle of the night, 2 or 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So she put you out. It's gonna get cold tonight. It's supposed to drop down to about 23 degrees. Is you gonna fire up that grill? Is that gonna be your warmth tonight?
From black politics, from black culture. I don't expect everybody to be a radical Afro-socialist, Afrocentrist overnight. I don't expect everybody to know everything because I don't know everything. I don't expect everybody to be perfect because I'm not perfect. But we've got to have a standard here. We've got to have a little bit of accountability. Here
you go, angry man. There's a couple of lights for you so you can light that damn dusty ass cigar in that that barbecue grill behind you so you can keep your ass warm. I couldn't pass it up short.
No excuse at this point. No excuse. Because black people have had social media for a long time. Because we marched out in the streets for BLM. Because we watched what happened in real time in Minnesota. The last time in Minnesota. There's no excuse in 2026 for you still to be looking exclusively at white folks explaining to you how they oppress other people and not to the people that they oppress. There's no reason even that your education about what ICE does towards brown immigrants in the United States should lead you to only learn from white people who educate you about that. All these white folks who spring up with their platforms and I got something to tell you about how to locally organize, and I got something to tell you about farms, and I got something to tell you about, it's great. A lot of the content is great. If you're not reading black people, learning from black people, in solidarity with black people, it's just not going to be enough. You can call it a purity test if you want. You can call it woke and you can call it performative all you want. The same lessons will persist if you refuse to learn from the people who have studied them the most. I don't feel like that's a very complicated notion. But I really appreciate that a lot of people are trying. And maybe for some of you, this video will be, if not a wake-up call, I don't want to be pretentious about myself, but some type of energizing moment in which you're like, yes, absolutely. This is the time that I start learning from Black liberation struggle. This is the time I read C.L.R. James, the Black Jacobins. This is the time that I start reading James Baldwin. This is the time I start reading any number of Black scholars, Black historians. This is the time that I start learning actually what the difference is between one African country and another. You know, frankly, this is a conversation that extends to Africa, especially when we talk about North Africa versus Sub-Saharan Africa. We are in the middle of an AFCON right now, an African international soccer competition, football competition, in which people learned about Patrice Lumumba for the first time because the Congo, the DRC, was participating and they had a fan who dressed up as Patrice Lumumba as part of their fan cheer section. And it was explained to people what the significance of this was. Only for an Algerian player to make fun of this Patrice Lumumba, to make fun of this fan. Yeah, even in Africa, this is a problem. Just think about how much you're missing. I highly encourage people to remain active, to build their wisdom, and to build their capacity for hope, because these are necessary resources. And part of how you learn, you know, I see sometimes people post online, how can one find joy in a time like this? How can one find connection in a time like this? How do you not just give up? If Black people didn't give up in the 1700s, how the hell are you, a non-Black person, going to give up now? What excuse do you have? Learn from what they've done. And I promise you, you will not regret it, because it has not only implications on what we can do politically as a collective, it has significant implications on how we live our own lives, on who we are, our own identities, our own abilities to connect with other people. I hope all this made sense. And I hope you're doing as well as possible. I hope to see you soon.
It absolutely did make 100% sense. Absolutely did. You said some things that I've been saying for quite a long time. It's hard to believe that again when you tell white folks Just because you get up on a panel and say, well, I remember this, or I said that, or I had a black friend with that, that don't mean you did something so fucking spectacular. You don't need no pat on the back for that. Like that one time right after Donald Trump got elected, that I don't know who the white woman was that came over and bombed Cherry's platform and said, what we gonna do? Why are you over here talking to us about what we gonna do? Because nobody over here voted for Donald Trump. We try to tell y'all not to. Don't come over here asking us what we gonna do now, what y'all gonna do. Don't shit on your floor as Cellulite tried to steal from me. Don't shit on your floor and then ask us not to smell it when we step up on your porch. And then think we gonna clean it up. Y'all brought this shit on yourself, white folks, because you thought he was only gonna go after brown folks. You thought it was only gonna affect immigrants. The man is married to an immigrant. Do you really think it was going to happen to her? His first wife was an immigrant. His children technically are immigrants. Elon Musk is an immigrant. You thought he had America's best interest at heart when he went through and gutted out all these programs talking about this is where we need to cut. This is where we need to cut. If you look at the history, he was raised up under an apartheid situation. And guess what? What did apartheid do? Oh, I don't know. Maybe just told black folks they wasn't shit. Locked up my man for almost the majority of his life. And when he was just about at the end of it, made him the president of a country, pretty much a figurehead, no disrespect. But there's a big difference when Mandela would have done at 35 that he would have done it at 75. Shit, at 75, he wasn't walking, he was shuffling. No disrespect. Truth is truth. He wasn't no threat then. But they'll tell us to get over it. And let's go right on to before we get to our main course. I know, like I said, I got a little time today, folks, but before we get to our main course, let's listen to this. Because I don't want to, just like they saying, say this lady's name, Miss Good. Let's say this man's name. Listen.
Doesn't lose the human at the heart of it. I'm not interested in debating whether ICE is complicated and every officer is good or bad. Because when ICE embeds itself into everyday life and neighborhoods, and that very presence kills a man who wasn't even their target, we have to talk about what that actually means, not what that might mean hypothetically. So let's talk about Keith Porter, and let's do it gently, because this is a human life that we're talking about. Keith Porter was a 43-year-old father of two who was shot and killed by an off-duty ICE agent on New Year's Eve in Northridge, California. That's a man with children. A girl dad, no less. Someone whose daughters now have to go through life without him. And I genuinely can't imagine what that must feel like. That's a real loss, not a talking point. And here's the thing that makes my blood simmer. Keith wasn't being detained by ICE. He wasn't a part of an immigration operation. He wasn't someone ICE had a warrant for. He wasn't even on ICE's radar. Yet an off-duty ICE officer inserted himself in a situation that he never should have been in. And it ended with Keith's life being taken. Now, from what I've read, ICE agents do go through training. Questionable, but training. And that training is about enforcement, detention, compliance, transportation, custody, paperwork. It's not designed for community police response. It's not designed for moments where someone's ambiguous, confused, chaotic, scared, or just human. So when an ICE agent off duty decides that they're the one to respond in a moment that's not immigration enforcement context, you have a mismatch, right? You have enforcement training, not community safety training. You have authority, not discretion. You have orders and compliance, not judgment and empathy. That mismatch is deadly. And it's also why we saw the killing of Renee Good in Minneapolis, a 37-year-old mother and writer who was shot 3 times in the face by an ICE officer. That shooting has sparked nationwide protests, and local leaders called for accountability after video contradicted the official narrative. 2 different people, 2 different cities, same structural problem. Not one bad moment. A system that is built without limits or accountability, and without a real delineation from things like local law enforcement and community crisis response. And I want to be clear about something very real. I couldn't and wouldn't want to imagine what Keith's daughters are going through right now. That's not political, that is human. Whatever the legal narratives are, whatever self-defense language gets used, whatever DHS says, a father is gone. His family is grieving. That's the price humans pay when an agency that wasn't designed for everyday civilian moments starts acting like it is. And until people start asking, why are ICE agents, especially off-duty, involved in situations that call for a trained community response? Why does enforcement mission creep into human moments? Why is there so little accountability when someone dies? When someone gets murdered, none of this gets resolved. Keith didn't die because he was a threat. He died because enforcement power without proportional limits got used in a moment that it never should have been in. That's the structural truth, and honestly, that's why this keeps happening.
It's going to happen again, folks. Next week, it might be your neighbor, but it's going to happen again. Just a couple nights ago, ICE agent shot someone because, according to the reports, because they were running away. Trump has unleashed, Trump and Stephen Miller has unleashed hell on American streets, folks. These folks don't get no more training than you give somebody who just their first week working at McDonald's. Again, the next time you stop and look at one of these videos from your local news, or someone that's public, or someone that's showing the ICE agents, look at their skin color. There's some folks that's relishing in the idea that they have this type power now. Going back to the young lady on the screen's very first video we started with. We like to akin what's going on to the Gestapo, but we needed to look back a little bit further, because that's what it's like now. I asked a friend of mine the other day, as a Latino person, do you feel comfortable walking out your house? And the immediate answer was no. Because they don't ask you for your ID first. They just come snatch you up. I never understood that. Their HT Baldwin, if they thought that what they was doing was in the ramifications of the law or upholding the law, why would they need masks? That's like I said, down here, we call them the jump out boys. You don't want those folks to know who you are, because we know what they're there for. They found some narcotics somewhere, and they could have been in the street. They could have been in the fields among us. Maybe that's why they don't want us to see their faces, because they could be the guy that you worked with yesterday. They could be the guy that delivered your water. They could have been the guy that drove the Amazon truck up to your house. That's why they don't want you to know who they are, HT Baldwin. See? Angelica know what I'm talking about. That's why they run. That's why when they take those bandanas off, they can just go back to what they're saying, because here's another part. Y'all remember the movie Inglorious Bastards? Remember when Brad Pitt after the Bear Jew came out and they let the one guy go, and he asked the guy, he said, when you get home, you're gonna take that uniform off, ain't you? And he said, yes, I am. He said, I'm gonna take it off and I'm gonna burn it. He said, so no one will ever know you were one of those soldiers, will they? And the guy was thinking, yeah, you know what? You're right. Nobody will never know. Phew. Well, you're entitled to your opinion there, Trina. If you like to, Trina, I could drop the link for you, and you can come up here and tell me how the Democrats effed up the country, if you really believe so. Just the way that you believe that they didn't, that you say that Democrats fucked up the country, I guarantee for every reason that you tell me why the Democrats fucked up the country, I can give you 5 reasons why the Republicans did. If you care to grab the link, all you got to do is drop the link, Trina. But back to my story, Trina. Remember in Inglourious Bastards, they said, "Hey, you gonna take it off?" You said, "Yeah, I'm gonna take it off and I'm gonna burn it." So you know what the guy did? He took a big old Bowie knife and he cut one of them little designs in his forehead, and it's gonna be with him forever. But unfortunately, we can't do that with the Proud Boys. Well, listen, this ain't about Joe Biden. Joe Biden is not the president now. We're talking about Donald Trump. We're talking about the Trump regime right now. We're talking about the Trump administration. What does Joe Biden have to do with what's going on right now? He is not in power. Vice President Harris is not in power. Barack Obama is not in power. Richard Nixon is not in power. Spiritu Agnew is not in power. John F. Kennedy certainly ain't in power. So what the hell do you guys keep bringing up Joe Biden for? He's not the president. Whatever mistakes you say he did 4 years ago does not account for the mistakes that's being made now. Man. J.E. Again, if you would like to come up, J.E., and give me some of your great answers, instead of sitting down in the chat room, Trump is fixing what? What is he fixing, J.E.? Sir, what is he fixing? Is he fixing the economy? Can't be. Is he making America great again by starting? Trump said he ran on what there, J.E.? I'm going to let you interrupt me for a little bit because I told you cats are not going to come over here and get no reputation off me, sir. So let's talk about Trump and his accomplishment. He said he was not going to cause any new wars. What we doing? What we doing, J.E.? How many times have Trump bombed different countries since he's been in office? Not even a year yet. What we doing, J.E.? How much money did people lose 6 months ago when Trump manipulated the stock market? J.E. See, it's folks like you there open your eyes. You refuse to open your eyes. Because you think you guys actually think like that is going to get me to do what you call that? What's his name? Anton Daniels. No, sir. Anyway, you can continue to type what you want down in the chat room. We're gonna move on from you because I see you're distracted. When faced with the truth, that's what you guys do. You try and detract. But let me give you something. Let me give you something, sir, because I knew somebody like you would show up sooner or later, J.E. and a couple of you other folks. Y'all want to claim how great America is? How many of you folks know who the great actor Jeff Daniels is? You remember from Dumber and Dumber? I like Jeff Daniels, but this is one time he was very serious. Y'all check this out. I played this before, but J.E. and Kevlar, y'all pay attention. Y'all keep saying America is how great it is. Check this out.
Jenny, I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what, you know what I mean? Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis?
Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way.
Well, The New York Jets.
No, I'm going to hold you to an answer on that. What makes America the greatest country in the world?
Well, Lewis and Sharon said it. Diversity and opportunity and freedom and freedom.
I'm not letting you go back to the airport without answering the question.
Well, our Constitution is a masterpiece. James Madison was a genius. The Declaration of Independence is, for me, the single greatest piece of American writing. You don't look satisfied.
One's a set of laws and the other's a declaration of war. I want a human moment from you.
And that part was important. One's a declaration and one's a set of laws, and the other one is a declaration. That's it. But they made sure that we were not included in that. Us as black folks, they were made sure that we were not included in that when they clearly had the opportunity to make us, as they say, one nation under God, that all men are created equal. They made sure in that Constitution that even Jeff Daniels said was just the greatest thing in the world, because that's what the answer that everybody is expected to give, when it's actually the Constitution is flawed when it comes to us. It doesn't recognize us till this day. But that's the answer Jeff Daniels thought that they wanted. But watch what the answer he's really going to give, because it's not.
What about the people? Why is America
Not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
You're saying...
Yes.
Let's talk about...
Fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of her paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always? Hey. And with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yeah, you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is, there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household.
And J.E., you just called that propaganda. That's fact. I was waiting for that to come up. So that's propaganda. That's you guys' answer to everything. It's propaganda. When these facts can easily be looked up. So America is not the greatest country in the world. That's why we're over there trying to get Venezuela's oil. Even the very money that some of you folks got balled up in your pocket right now, folded up in your pocket right now, is not based on anything. It has no actual, this is one of the only countries that you could go into broke as shit at 9 o'clock and come out a millionaire. We make the most money. We print the most money, H.T. Baldwin. Y'all think Gaddafi was killed just because he was a roguish dictator? Y'all think that they talking shit about those African leaders over there because they're roguish dictators? I'm not a fan of what's his name? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad and all those folks over there. But somebody asked, Mike Wallace was interviewing, and he said, can you think of a more horrendous country in the world? He said, yeah, I'm living in one. But because I said that statement, somebody eventually will listen to this and leave me a message saying, go back to your country. This is my country. And now we got some clown named Tariq Nasheed that 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, that came up with foundational Black America and helped with this separation.
Income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite? Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and we cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, and we didn't scare so easy. We were able to be all these things and do all these things because we were informed by great men, men who were revered. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore.
And for a lot of folks, it never has been and never will be. Is that enough? Is that enough for you to understand? J.E. or whatever your name was. What's up there, Irby? How you living? Is that enough for you to know, Kev, that America is not the greatest country in the world? That we do have our faults. But I was born here. This is the only country I know, good, bad, or indifferent. But a lot of what Jeff Daniels was saying, we as Black folks don't get credit for. Reaching for the stars and the moon. Sweeping your floor, all kinds of different. I say this name because a lot of you folks would not be alive right now if it wasn't for Henrietta Lacks. A lot of you folks would still be walking around with wrinkled up clothes if it wasn't for the ironing board, the broom, all these different things, the ice cream scooper, all these different things that y'all white folks take for granted. Hold on just a second. I hear somebody talking in the background. Let me pull up my next. Yeah, we about to slide into some Anton shit.
Lifetime student. Let me also say that I don't identify myself as Democrat or Republican, so I always vote on who I feel is the best person for the position, not a cross-party.
That was your boy Anton 10 years ago. That was your boy Anton 10 years ago. That was your boy Anton 10 years ago.
Myself a lifetime student. Let me also say that I don't identify myself as Democrat or Republican.
Let me also say you look like you got Kool-Aid in your tank. You're moving a little, you're moving to the left. You's on the left, you's on the middle. Nigga, I'm got the guessing. Is you pitching or catching?
So I always vote on who I feel is the best person for a lifetime student. Let me also say.
And see, y'all folks made fun of me when I said, and it looked like I stopped it perfectly. Didn't I tell y'all them teeth in Anton's mouth wasn't real? Didn't I tell y'all that? Didn't I tell y'all he had a hard time keeping them damn teeth in his mouth, them lumineers? Didn't I tell y'all that? Look at it. Look at that motherfucker right there. Look at that goddamn aerospace gap right there. Look at that shirt. That looked like you bought something that came off your grandma. Yeah, them chiclets. Get a little chick from child chiclets. But see, this is the problem. Folks act like the internet does forget shit. This ain't the Pacific Ocean, Anton. This was you in 2015, 2016, before they invented the super chat. But before they invented a new way of grifting. Before you guys realized it was profitable to get up there and bruise and beat up on black women. Come on, man. Y'all hear him again.
Consider myself a lifetime student. Let me also.
He considers himself a lifetime student. The internet is forever, ain't it, Miss Rosie? Fuck up if you want. Look.
Myself a lifetime student. Let me also say that I don't identify myself as.
Look at this nigga's hands. I know we're gonna go through this for a minute.
Myself a lifetime student. Let me also say that I don't identify myself as Democrat or Republican. So I always vote.
I don't identify myself as Democrat or Republican. Sounds like air escaping, nigga. What the fuck?
Vote on who I feel. Say that I don't identify myself as Democrat or Republican. So I always vote on who I feel is the best person for the position, not a cross party. Myself a lifetime.
Now we just heard Anton. I'm gonna leave that up there just in case. But we just heard Anton in his argument with Corey Holcomb say he was a staunch Republican his entire life. But before we get to that, hold on just a second. Which one is this? And let me move this. Make sure I got them all there. Okay, here we go. Now, a big shout out to my dude Super Sly 75. I know he's talked about Anton Daniels on several occasions, so I could not think of a better person to help me roast this loose nigga than Super Sly 75. Man, if you're not in, sure, if you don't mind, would you go pull up Super Sly's channel and put his link down in the chat room for me? If folks, you might disagree or agree with the fella, that's not what I'm talking about. He has some great commentary, so much so of all the streams that I watched talking about Anton Daniels. This was the stream to me. It came closer to what I would have talked about or what I would like to talk about. So Super Slide, big shout out to you. I appreciate it. Well, let me start here. No, I'm gonna start with the short one. Okay, I'm gonna start with the short one first.
You and evoke a response that makes it seem like you're being emotional. That's why Antoine started. It's called a dog whistle in politics. They will say things that trigger you and evoke a response that makes it seem like you're being emotional. That's why Antoine started being very direct and started being very accusational, because he was trying to trigger Corey. And it worked for a bit, but Corey caught himself and handled himself like a G. I hope they can get back together and do it more, because at the end of the day, what we need in our community is not niggas that want to be right. We need niggas that want to push an intellectual
Sharon, how many times have you heard me tell you that, folks? That them niggas come up on your panel, they don't come up there to be, they come up there to be right. And they come up there to prove you wrong. They don't come up there for honest dialogue. And that's the same thing Corey Holcomb, that Anton Daniels did to Corey Holcomb. Why? 2 reasons. He had a chick with him. He tried to get this chick in the industry. Why? Let me show you how to go disrupt and make Corey's look like shit, so I can be the #1 spot. He wants to do a show like this. Because I don't know if y'all went back and watched his response to the Corey, but you get mighty damn tough. I'm going to call out both of y'all, because first of all, you wouldn't stand up in front of me and put your private parts in front of me like that, thinking you was going to get away with it. But we gonna get to all of that. That tells me one thing for sure. All y'all two loose niggas was doing was blowing hot air at each other. Now, Kev, we on something that we both agree about. You was absolutely right. Angelica, I agree with you right there too. Both them niggas is stupid. Neither one of them wanted to fight. That was just a posturing contest. You remember when you was little? I dare you to push this off my sleeve. I dare you to cross this line. I dare push me again. No, you push me. Now that's what that was about. Because ain't no way in hell no grown man would have offered me up his tallywhacker on nationwide television and would have been walking around. He would have been able to see me by Friday out that little bit of the corner of his eye that stopped swelling up so far. Wouldn't have been enough ice in the freezer to get that swelling down. Because I'd have tagged your ass. Over. That conversation would have been over. When I watched it, when it got to the 17-minute and 51-second mark, that shit would have been over. That's right. With 15,000 people watching their they wouldn't have been talking about Anton offering me up his man parts. They would have been talking about, y'all see how hard he hit that nigga? That's what they would have been talking about. Now, that's one thing I'm going to fault Corey for. If you say you're a real nigga in the streets, that shit wouldn't have happened. I guarantee you, if Craig was standing there, or that other cat that was there that beat up Ari Spears, that shit would have took a whole different turn for Anton.
Agenda that furthers the common consciousness of everybody black. Do your research on most cult leaders or most dictators or most people who rose to power and did some absolutely heinous things. These are people who willed their way into that position and dealt with a lot of rejection. So when you're dealing with somebody that has an agenda, they will sacrifice the greater good of themselves. So one day they can position themselves to be able to tell you what to do and run your life.
Oh, cult leader thing, huh? The whole Jim Jones. I don't know what I'd be talking about. I'd just be running my mouth. But let's continue. Craig is speaking facts.
I'm telling you, you can't stop you can't just come with the buster bitch nigga talk, hoe nigga talk, rat, coon talk. You have to understand what's going on completely, even if it don't match how you feel. If somebody is dealing in narratives and speaking in fallacy, they're trying to evoke emotion to make you seem hypocritical and control people's view of you. But it ain't over though. I hope it ain't over. Man, look, man, it's so many great things that come from niggas putting their differences to the side and saying, okay, nigga, all right, let's do what we got to do now. Let's get back to the agenda. I already know Corey's thing is helping black people, helping black women and young men see the light. I don't know much about Antoine, but he says some things. I mean, we need that type of niggas should be scared of a little bit of conflict. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's what this shit is about. Every movement has conflicts, man. But respectfully, niggas, like, at the end of the day, two niggas standing on business, they stand on business. It is what it is. Now, I was all the way at station 1640 in Hollywood. Look up station 1640 in Hollywood. I had a show that started at 10, right? I'm on my way from my crib. It's about 9:05. I turned on the show. They are.
Yeah, he was doing damage control, Miss J. He certainly was. Because, man, I guarantee you, if this was your friend, he told you something completely different, Corey. I can guarantee he told you you should have whooped that nigga's ass. I guarantee you that's what Craig told you behind the scenes. Ain't no way that motherfucker would have came up to my spot talking to me like that. Like I say, folks, I can play on both sides of the street. I can be intellectual, but I can be a crab too. And I know I would have told Corey, man, you should have mollywopped that motherfucker.
Talk, you have to understand what's going on completely, even if it don't match how you feel. If somebody is dealing in narratives and speaking in fallacy, they're trying to evoke emotion to make you seem hypocritical and control people's view of you. But it ain't over though. I hope it ain't over. Man, look, man, it's so many great things that come from niggas putting their differences to the side and saying, okay, nigga, all right, let's do what we got to do now. Let's get back to the agenda. I already know Corey's thing is helping black people, helping black women and young men see the light. I don't know much about Antoine, but he says some things. I mean, we need that type.
Don't nobody know much about Anton. Although this is a public figure, folks, what about Anton do y'all really know? He reviews the same shit that I review. He talks about the same news cycle that I talk about. He says he has a business that you go on to LinkedIn, there's nothing to see. You go to his website, there's nothing to see, just him telling you about what he can and can't do. The same shit that you can get from listening to one of his streams, nothing is what you can get from when you go to his so-called Millionaire Money Morning Show. Nothing. If you was a person secretly right now actively saying, okay, here's a prime example. I wanted to get the website redone, right? Why would I go and look at somebody that'll tell me, well, I can't give you no more on what I can do without you paying me for it? No, I want to see some of your work. I want to see some of the people that talk good or bad about you. There's no review on your shit. There's no review on you doing anything of any substance. And I also heard him say on Corey's show that he put all these little black boys through college. Will one of y'all little black boys please stand up so we can, at least Anton can be right about that? Can one of y'all little motherfuckers make a stream saying, yeah, he gave me some money? Because remember, Anton was butthurt because he wasn't invited to the reindeer games. He couldn't figure out why his YouTube fame. What's up there, the Blogger Purge Show? How you doing? How you doing? For all you folks that have channels, if you do have a channel, please post it down in the listening lounge, as I like to call it. I would love to check out your channel, see what you're talking about. Hopefully, we can do a collab one day. If not, I don't like what you talk about. Hey, just like you came to my channel for the first time, I'll come to yours for the chat first time. We'll just have some pleasantries and keep it moving. But anyway, drop it on down there. If you got a channel, please, by all means. Never know. We might even collab like Corey and whatchamacallit. But I guarantee you, I won't offer you my tallywhacker. Maybe a drink, soda, root beer, coffee, but it ain't gonna be my tallywhacker.
Niggas should be scared of a little bit of conflict. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's what this shit is about. Every movement has conflicts, man. But respectfully, niggas, like, at the end of the day, two niggas standing on business, they stand on business. It is what it is. Now, I was all the way at station 1640 in Hollywood. Look up station 1640 in Hollywood. I had a show that started at 10, right? I'm on my way from my crib. It's about 9:05. I turn on the show, they arguing. I hear the dude say my name and call me a yes man, right? Then I see it getting heated. I pull up to my show. I say, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to the studio. So I drive from Hollywood to Pasadena. I wasn't supposed to be there. Hopped the gate. When I pulled up, I blocked the entrance so he couldn't get out. I hopped the gate, but he was already gone. He was already out of there. So I pulled up, had a couple homies tucked in the corner, waiting on that action boss. I pulled up. What's up, mainline? And then I got my ass back to my show. So let me tell you something, man, about this comedy game, man. I'm a comedian. I got my own career. I push my own line. I got things I want to accomplish for me and my family that have nothing to do with 5150. I'm a part of 5150. I'm a diehard 5150 guy. But when I heard Antoine attacking the brand, I didn't appreciate that, man. We're talking about a legend in Corey Holcomb that sacrificed a lot and experiences a lot of controversy for having the heart to speak how he feels, regardless of what people think about it. You know what I'm saying? So when that nigga said I was just happy to be here, I laughed because look, I'm a comedian. Anybody that really do comedy know Corey Holcomb is one of them niggas. It's an honor to do 5150. I'm not on 5150 to make it my show, nigga. That's Corey's show, nigga. I'm there to be a compliment, you weird ass nigga. But I love to debate you. I love to debate you. You got to play your position on whatever team you on. It's called alignment, exactly. You can't be out of alignment and call yourself a man. It don't work like that. I got my own ship I'm building right here. I got my own studio I'm sitting in right now, nigga. I ain't no status driven nigga where I feel like I got to step in every situation and make it my shit and dominate. That's some whole shit to me. I mean, but you know, I pulled up because I wanted to have that conversation face. And I had never really heard of dude. I seen him online and shit here and there, but I really don't follow dude like that. I didn't know what he was on. When Corey said he was gonna have him on the show, I didn't know. I didn't know nothing about the dude. We don't got nothing in common. You know what I'm saying? But he wants to smoke, he can get it.
Right. Fortunately for y'all and me and Super Slob, we've been following this cat for a while, so I can tell you, there's nothing good coming out of Anton's camp. We saw that today. I don't know how many of y'all was watching Sharon Bracey's stream. Boy, I had to tell you what, a personal business. Listen here, folks. You got to be watching what folks be handed you. I was out doing a little birthday celebration last night. Somebody gave me some punch. Whoo! Felt like somebody took my tongue and drug it down an orange dirt road. Ooh, good God. I had a headache the size of 4 big women in a sauna. Good God. That's all I'm going to say about that. Won't do that no more. But so punch, you know what that is. Y'all know what hunch punch is. Stop it, ABT. But again, he says that. He says that. That's one of his arguments. That he put some black boys through college. Appreciate the Cash App that just came through. Thank you so very much for the Cash App. I'd like to keep folks' names private just in case it might be your government name. But for those of you who just sent the Cash App, thank you so very much. That is a rumor. I've heard that. I've heard that now. That is a rumor.
I want the debate. Come on, Craig Facts, man. I'll kill you off. Yeah, man, we got to understand, man, when something is agenda-based and something is based in illogic, you gain nothing from giving that attention as far as your emotion is concerned. Once somebody is speaking illogic, you got to let them have that. The hardest thing is for us to just let it go. You know what I'm saying? Because it triggers us. People who ain't on shit know how to trigger people in order to gain their attention. Men, you go through this all the time with scumbag bitches. You know, you do everything right for a chick, and then once you don't do one thing right, you all kind of bitch ass.
And see, this is the problem that I'm having, Craig. You was on point, man. But if you had just took it off, why y'all got to take everything towards, as you said, the bitches? Because that's what y'all hang around, the bitches, the women's, WIMMENZ. That's what y'all hang around. So that's what you should expect. Because if you was around a woman, you wouldn't have said that. Wouldn't have said that, Craig. And Craig made him do it. Yeah. Come on, Craig.
Niggas and you ain't shit and you got a little dick and you know how I get. That's the same type of shit. Man. That was an interesting thing. I got so many calls and so many look, I don't crash out for nobody. So even me pulling up last night wasn't no crash out. I'm my own motherfucking man. You know what I'm saying? I don't crash out, but what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. You feel me? So respect is number one. You know what I mean? I got a family, nigga. I got places to go in life. We all got limited time. You feel me? You know, so stick to your shit, man. You know, it was a bunch of shit. The ad hominem was very present. That's when instead of sticking
Hey, Craig, I'm with you on that, but I heard a lot of people big up in you. But let me say this. I know Corey is your friend. So you mean to tell me you put the 5150 shit against your shit? You was willing to come in there to crash out to save Corey shit? I hate to throw it to you like that, but that's what it sounds like, folks. Corey's a grown man. He can handle that business himself. What was you there for, Craig? You the enforcer, ain't you? You that man. That Corey lead on it. In times of trouble, you never let me down before. No, Lord. My Barry White impression. Stop it. Let that man fight his own fight, Craig. Handle your business. If you out there making your career for yourself, do that. Let Corey stand on his own 2 feet. You gonna stop what you doing to get in your car to come and protect his honor. That don't need protecting. I ain't a Corey Holcomb fan. I'm not against Corey Holcomb, but let that man handle his business by himself. That's all I'm saying, Craig.
To the argument, somebody focuses on a flaw. You know what I mean? So it was very agenda-based. Shout out to Corey. Anton, y'all need to run that back. Run it back with me if you like. I would love to do that. Man called Corey racist. Right. You can't be racist if you're not white. I mean, that's a power.
And just call it out for what it is there, my man. You know, this shit has grown some traction. So you want folks to see that you're going to beat up on Anton because intellectually speaking, Anton is not very smart. He repeats himself a lot in the quest of trying to keep them damn teeth in his mouth. And unfortunately, no disrespect, but I got to call it like I said, Corey Holcomb is not very worldly. I'm not saying smart. He's not very worldly. And he says that himself because he even says in this argument that he wasn't around white folks until he went to Chicago. So that tells me he wasn't very worldly until he got some money. And Anton exploited that. He exploited Corey's lack of knowledge to come up with some more bullshit. But Anton, I'm going to be like Craig. Come over here with that bullshit. OC, to make your life easy. I'll mop the floor up with you, brother.
Structure thing. But look, this is why Neely Fuller said black people shouldn't even be around each other. We shouldn't even be around each other until black people shouldn't even be around each other unless they understand white supremacy. That's why you need to buy the United Compensatory Code book and guidebook by Neely Fuller so you can get a better understanding of the 9 principles of racism. And sex is one of them.
So what y'all think about what Craig had?
Wow, Craig is sharp. Craig is sharp. I have a newfound respect for Craig. Craig is fucking sharp.
Okay, Sly. Okay. I'm gonna say he ain't the sharpest knife he ain't the sharpest knife there, Sly. I'll just say that, but he got some valid points there. He had some valid points there, Sly, but I won't give him that. Wait a minute.
Let me also say that I don't identify myself as Democrat or Republican, so I always vote on who I feel is the best person for the position, not a cross-party.
Does that look very masculine to y'all? If you think Corey would have ran into that 10 years ago, do you think he would have been worried about what was going to happen to him? Mouthpiece. And I got to be honest with you. One thing I will agree with Corey about, I've had some heated discussions with women. And Anton, you exhibited all the argument, all the veracity of a mad black woman that y'all always complaining about. So I'm wondering why does Corey know more about this?
Myself a lifetime student.
Look at that. Again, I have nothing against the LGBT community. Love who you love. Be who you with. That's not my call. But when you got folks like Anton talking shit, that's the nigga I got problems with. It's with them angry women's. Stop it, Miss J. Let's move on. Let's move on to the grand finale, folks. Like I said, I got a little time tonight. I know Jeff D is on air right now, Classic R&B Jams with the JDCD, spending 4 hours of some smooth jazz, some funk fusion, or some smooth R&B. So if you're inclined to, if you're trying to listen to me and you want some smooth music in your life, go on over there to Classic R&B Jams and take a listen to Jeff D. But in the meantime, I'm gonna crash up with Super Sly, talking about that guy on the screen right there. Let's play it one more time. You thought that was gonna go somewhere, Anton? Hell no. You shouldn't have let me found this. I'm gonna add this to the Leonard collection.
Myself a lifetime student. Let me also say that I don't identify myself as Democrat or Republican, so I always vote on who I feel is the best person for the position, not a...
Miss Peaches, you better get your shit together. Miss Peaches, look at that mouth. Last time I seen a mouth like that, it had a hook in it. Miss Peaches. That's the ass y'all was kissing. Y'all talked about Kevin Samuels. Shit, you better not open that closet door 2 minutes more. The Anton, some bones might fall out. That's all I'm saying. Let me remove this off the screen here. All right, let's get into our final one for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Super Sly again, folks.
You niggas can't hoop. Niggas can't hoop. What up? Throw me the ball, man. Who the fuck out the way? Throw me the ball. Yeah, guard that nigga, man. Watch out, nigga. Who the fuck out the way, man? Man, guard it, man. I call ball, man. Nah, you charge me, man. Prime time, nigga. I call ball, motherfucker. Hold on, nigga. I slap the control panel out your ass, nigga. You charge me. Calm down, man. Calm down. Don't tell me to calm down, man. Motherfucker, charge me, man. That's charging. My brother. Let ye not succumb to anger. For the Lord in his glory. Go on with that fucking shit, man. Nobody want to hear all that. Calm down. Oh, man, that nigga always want to quote the Bible, man. Fuck out of here. And I heard Prime about that dunk.
And in their live streams, do y'all ever really sit down and be like, did I just really type that? Do I really believe what I'm typing? Or do you fall into the mob mentality and you just go with whatever the chat says, right? Because right now, Star is talking about this shit. And I'm sitting here like, I'm listening to Star glaze Anton, calling this man a man of knowledge, a wealth of knowledge. What? But then Star's the same guy that glazed Kevin Samuels. What?
That's what I said too, Sly. What? Have y'all really stopped and listened to Anton? He's a bunch of double talk. I don't know who this Star is, but I can tell you what, anybody who says that Anton is smart, I got to question you. Yeah, if you bigging up Anton, I might have to go. Somebody's saying yeah. I don't know who he is, but we're gonna find out. I'm gonna go come look for you later on, Star. You too can be the next contestant on Loose Nigga Roundup. We got trouble. Continue there.
Okay. See, here y'all go with the lawsuit shit. See. Now, which one is it? You gonna be a real nigga that gets down for the crown, or you worried about lawsuits? You can't have it both ways, man. Which one is it? Pick a struggle. So, which is more important? Sending a message to guys like Anton and his ilk, or I don't want to get sued. You can't present yourself in one fashion, and then when it's time for you to enact the beliefs you believe in, the very behaviors you believe in, and then when it's go time, you sit your ass down. Now we're gonna apply some prison street logic to this shit. Yeah, Corey should have took the fade with him. Matter of fact, shouldn't even let the nigga get out the door before bum rushing him.
You damn Skippy. And I'll agree with you 100%, because as soon as you would have said that to me, and I knew what you were saying in the fit of rage or anger, I would have knocked the shit out of you. Believe me, I like to say this a lot, but I would have gave you that military slap. Your teeth would have opened ranks and fell out. You would have never, ever in your life made that mistake again by offering me or telling me that I engage in that kind of activities. I don't play like that. Some things I don't joke with. You would have known offhand. Say it again. You would have never said it again. You would have known better the first time. At the 17-minute and 51-second mark, I'd have slapped you into next week. You would have never seen 17-minute and 52 seconds of that stream. Guarantee it, because you'd have been waking up talking about what the fuck happened. That nigga just hit me. You'd be like Money Mike over there, somebody pouring water on your ass. What the fuck just happened? Nah, nigga, you wouldn't have talked to me like that and got away with it. I don't give a damn if I got one more fight in me or 50. Pray that you ain't the nigga that get that last fight.
So let's apply the street logic, the street prison to Anton's side. This man was so in your fucking face, all in your crotch area. Nigga, you could smell his issy.
And you're absolutely right. That's pointed out. Because if you'd have stood up in front of me with your tallywhacker exposed talking shit to me, and if I was Antoine, you'd have been doubled up like a folding tailor. I'd have folded you up like a shotgun. Whap! Whap-a-yow! That's the last thing you would have heard, because that would have been your nuts in unison. Whap-a-yow! You get close to me like that talking shit and put your tallywhacker and your family jewels in front of me, then the bitch would have been clackers. Clack, 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 clack. They'd have still been shivering. I wish to fuck. You wouldn't have got that close to me. Hey there, real victorious one. How you doing? Good to see you. That shit wouldn't have happened to me. You wouldn't have got that close to me. I'd have hit you with something. But you know, all them family jewels, if y'all fellas out there know what I'm talking about, all them things got to do is get glazed. That's enough for you to get the fuck out the way. A good wind blow, make a nigga double up. You know what I'm saying? That's why leads me to believe that this whole thing was staged. Because you should have never, Corey, I'm speaking to you as a street nigga. I ain't been in the streets like that, but I would have known better to stand up in front of somebody that was mad at me like that without hitting that nigga. And then, Corey, what gets me upset is that you come back on your podcast later on saying what you would have done. Woulda, coulda, sugar.
Miyake. As soon as Corey stood over him, you got the fire off on this nigga. But once again, that's imploring street prison logic. Nobody wants to go to jail, but y'all like
No, sir, that ain't street prison logic there, Slot. That's called ain't no such thing as a fair fight. I'm gonna get you off me as quick as I can. That's a one-hitter quitter right there. I guarantee if I hit you in them nads, you ain't coming at me. You doubling up. You out of breath. Tears coming out your eyes. It's up to me now to decide what I want to do to you next. You ain't got no control.
Trying to enact jail behaviors. Pick a struggle. You cannot have it both ways. This is why these black women look at you as weak. This is why black women fuck with Pookie and Ray Ray. That's why they let jail niggas fuck all in them with no condom and let them bust in they pussies raw. This is why they keep having babies by jail niggas. Because at least jail niggas stand on something. When it's go time, jail niggas know, okay, bring my pistol.
Get him.
She don't ask what for.
Get him.
Hey, where's my burner at? Oh,
Get 'em.
Here it is. She'll bring it in. If she's smart, she wraps the shit up in a fucking scarf or a towel and hands.
And who is he talking about? He's not talking about women. He's talking about them women's. Somebody type it for me. WIMMENZ, because that's who he's talking about. It's them women's that'll wrap up that towel. A woman to tell you, don't bring that shit to my house. I ain't with it. A woman to tell you, I'm not going to serve time with you. What my man now is describing is them women's. And there's an ass of them. There's an ass of y'all in these YouTube streets. A couple of y'all hang out over there with Jay Prince. A couple of y'all hang out over there with what's his name? Mr. False Teeth. What's his name? Izzy Bands. A couple of y'all hang out over there with DJ Hamp. There's a couple of y'all women's. But when somebody pointed out to you, you don't like it. You're being misogynistic. You picking on me as a woman. The fuck is wrong with you? That's right. That's what they say. What the fuck's wrong with you? That's what they say. What the fuck's wrong with you? I'm a woman. You can't talk to me like that. But meanwhile, you adding to the delinquency and contributing to this bullshit by propping up the angry man. Yeah, angry man, you right. Yeah, Antoine, look at him. He was such a big, strong black Hercules. Meanwhile, Cash Apping the fuck out of him. And then get mad when somebody pointed out. Or get mad at me.
To you, she can't have her fingerprints on this shit because she knows what you about to go accomplish. That's why jail niggas be winning. That's why Pookie and Ray Ray gonna keep winning. Oh, you like fucking with these habitual criminals? They in and out of jail. Yeah, they be fucking your bitch, and the bitches love them. You gonna let them parole to your house, girl? Bitch, yes. Which one is it? Like y'all.
Hey, where are the white women at?
This shit like it's a scarlet letter. Nigga, that's a badge of honor. I hate to say it. Because in the black community, that's how you judge who is real or not. Have you been through something? Have you been through the...
Come on, Sly, don't slap him like that. I got to bring up my girl Bomb Cherry. Because just the other day, it was on her platform talking last week. I had shit to do. Well, that was last week. I wasn't up on the stream all day, all week. You gotta clarify that, because some people say when you was on the stream, that means you on YouTube just like I am. No, niggas. I ain't have shit to do. It might have been raining outside. It might have been too cold. But I was over at Bomb Cherry's platform. And some nigga was on there telling me how wrong I was about being in the landscaping business. Wait a minute. What else? What else? What else did they say? Hold on just a second. You just repeat that for me. What else did they say? Hold on.
Fire, sir. I don't know what bigger fire you could put in front of a black man besides the military or prison. And when I say military, I mean combat. Okay? Those are probably the two greatest barometers of testing a man's ability to function in a high pressure, high stressful system.
And when I told them that, they told me I was a butler. As soon as I mentioned any hint of my father or anybody that I know being in the military, all of a sudden I was a butler. But the thing about it is now I don't mind calling it out because I got to call it, Sharon. I hear that shit on your panel all the time. Either man up there, big praising up, nigga. Why do we need to know that you doing push-ups? Are you that enthralled with pleasing PhD that you got to get your fat ass on camera and do some push-ups, half-ass push-ups? I thought you was married. What you need to impress PhD about? I thought you was your own man. Yeah, that's what he doing. Teabagging or teabagging. Which one? I had to call it out, folks, because I'm comfortable in what I'm saying. I call it out. A whole lot of shit goes on your platform over there, Sharon, that to me, it's no help to our community. Yes, it's funny. Yes, it's entertaining. But to let, what's his name, KT, to go get up there day after day after day after day, running his motherfucking Lipton soup coolers like he doing something for the information. This nigga said some of the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life. And it was so stupid, I forgot about it. Look, I didn't say that. Black Hawk, I pointed out that one time and somebody told me I was dead wrong. No woman on these platforms has low self-esteem. I point out about Daryl Long. When I roasted Daryl Long, I said, well, this is what Daryl Long does. He goes from stream to stream to stream, looking for women with low self-esteem. Not saying all of y'all do, but he knows how to figure out whether y'all might have some problems or you might have some issues or some family issues or you down for a time. And them's them niggas that come out bringing you religion, telling you, come on to the Bible study after we done. Hang around in the back. I want to give you a personal talking to. Next thing you know, what you wearing, little mama? What you got on? What color is they? Little dick dink. That's what they call it. Shots fired. Yes, ma'am. I call it like I see it, Miss J. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Because can't nobody come over and say I pander to nobody. Can't nobody come over and say that I let folks come up on my platform and say anything and don't challenge them. And unfortunately, they can say that about Sharon. I'm not disrespecting the brother. I'm just saying out loud what other people say.
Society. Because you're locked in a fucking room. Everybody's an alpha. Now figure it out. Now figure out your place in this. Right? You're a lion. Okay, there's a saber-toothed tiger. You know, over there's a pack of fucking hyenas. There's a jaguar. There's a mountain lion. There's a puma. Oh, what is that? What is it? A Kangal? That's a Kangal? Is that a Dogo Argentina? Okay, you're.
And that's another thing, Sly. When these guys be talking about alpha, what happens to alpha? What's always happening to the alpha of the group, the leader of that group? Let's take this to Mother Nature. The guy that's leading that has the harem of deer or does or females, antelopes or whatever you want to call them, or the lioness or whatever. What is he doing 99% of the time? Fighting. 99% of the time, he fighting, either beating up somebody or getting his ass whipped. He ain't engaged in the carnal knowledge because them females is pregnant. Or he's sleeping. Thank you, Angelica. He's sleeping. What is them, you know, them big, I guess they call them real pretty monkeys. They got the big hairy face, mandrills. Do you see when them fellas getting to fighting each other over the women folk? They ain't playing. Scars to be had. They ripped each other to shreds. What good is you gonna do to the ladies if you can't work no more? Your shit is ripped open or you hobbling. That's usually what happens to the alpha. The alpha is somebody's always conniving to take his spot. I don't want to be no alpha when it comes to women because one of y'all niggas is out there plotting on me. One of y'all niggas is trying to get what I got. One of y'all niggas is trying to get my money, trying to get my car, or trying to get my woman just because I labeled myself the alpha. And as sooner or later, Angelica, the alpha gets beat and shunned from the group. Thank you. Isn't that what's happening to Anton? Isn't that what's happening to Obsidian? Isn't that what happened to Kevin Samuels? The alpha got defeated and shunned from the group. Isn't that what happened to Tommy Sotomayor? That this dude had to make a fake account to come in and argue with somebody? And it's usually absolutely. I see you watch the Animal Planet too, huh, Angelica? Because it's usually one of his sons that either circle back and double up on him and get him, or plot on him right there. Usually somebody that's closest to you that's planning your demise. Let's continue.
You're an alpha, figure it out with these other alphas. Let y'all work it out. What the fuck is y'all talking about, man? How do you authenticate these rap niggas' lyrics? Have they been to jail? How much time they serve? How much credit do y'all give DMX for being the realest nigga in hip hop?
It's like us going back to Bomb Cherry's thing. Like I said, I was on Bomb Cherry's platform, and I asked that particular nigga, man, why y'all always leading with your jail foot? Why you always telling people that you've been in jail like it's a fucking badge of courage? That's the last thing that anybody should know about you. Matter of fact, I shouldn't know about it at all because I don't know you, nigga. But y'all come up on these different platforms saying, I'm real because I've been in jail. I'm the real super bad. No, nigga, you ain't real because you got caught. You ain't a good criminal. You got caught. You ain't real. The real criminal ain't got caught yet. He's still out there doing shit. That's the one that's real. I don't know about him. The police don't know about him, but he out here doing this dirt. Fuck wrong with y'all? I'm real because I've been in jail. No, you real dumb because you've been in jail. You ain't real smart because you've been in jail. Come on, Sly. Let's get him.
Now take away his criminal record. Take away Pac's criminal record. Give me some of y'all favorite MCs. And let's see if they have a lengthy criminal history or not. And see how much we judge them as them being a real nigga.
I guess about 2.5, 3 years ago, I had a stream with Sly, and we was talking about hip hop. And he asked me, do I think hip hop has any chance of redeeming itself? And I explained hip hop like this. Hip hop is a wayward child. And the more we allow this child to go unchecked, the more trouble we have of it. Look at Puffy Combs. Look at what's going on in the rap community right now with all these guys that's being brought up on these RICO charges and things like that. It's not accident. This is hip hop, folks. This is hip hop. You got to dig in the annals of R&B to find dirt. You got to know your R&B history to go find some dirt on Marvin Gaye. You got to go dig up in the annals of R&B to dig up some dirt on the Temptations. You got a lot of y'all didn't know what was going on in the Temptations till the Temptations movie came out. A lot of y'all didn't know what was going on with Prince and the Revolution until Purple Rain came out. A lot of y'all didn't know that Rick James and Prince was feuding with each other throughout their entire career. Why? Because we didn't put each other on blast like y'all niggas do. We kept our disagreements and our tried to come up on each other. We kept it to a level of healthy competition. We didn't eliminate the competition like Puffy did. Have you noticed all the heroes, all the rap stars of the 80s still around? We still can talk to LL Cool J. We still can talk to Big Daddy Kane. We still can talk to all these different rappers. But we can't talk to King Von. We can't talk to, what's the other guy? What's his name? XS Texon. We can't talk to the guy in Los Angeles. We can't talk to none of them. Why? Because they was eliminated by someone in the same field with them. So don't miss me with it when we say that we don't have a problem in our own black community, because we do. So you can't get mad at me or Slide when we point out the obvious.
Make it make sense.
It don't.
Make it make sense. Okay. Yeah, you got Anton over there flirting, letting this sexual predator flirt with him. Well, you got a nice smile, and if we was locked up together, I wouldn't try you.
Okay, I didn't bring that up, but y'all noticed that? Y'all remember that? If Anton was a businessman, why the fuck would he have the booty warrior? Someone that's known in prison for assaulting men. If I likes you, and I sees you, and I want you, you can do it the hard way or the easy way. Yeah, Nipsey Hussle. Yes. Rest in peace, Nipsey. But remember, that was Antoine had him front and center. And the man actually flirted with Antoine, and he was like the little Pillsbury dope boy. Am I wrong? Am I wrong, y'all? So wonder why this is on there. This is why I use this. Wonder why I use this. Huh? You wonder why? Wonder why I use that? I don't.
I think you're cute. Nigga, if you don't fire off in this old fogey and break whatever teeth he got left in his jaw.
Hey there, Lana. How you doing? Lana?
But then Anton can't do none of this because he's a slave to the money. Anton has no integrity. Do y'all see what this man is willing to do for fame and glory? Nigga, you have a daughter. I know her friends are like, this your daddy? Girl, this your daddy? You know what they're going to say about me? Hey, Takashi, is this your daddy? Yeah, your daddy crazy.
And Sly, you're absolutely right. And again, this is one of those things that I've said before. Remember JP? Remember that night I tried to make some common sense to you and say that one day that your children are going to go back on the internet and look at the shit that they see and the shit that you say, and somebody gonna say, this your daddy? This your daddy? And you can tell that this man Sly has a great admiration for his daughter. Why? Because he called her Mini-Me. He would never disrespect his daughter, I'm guaranteed, in the way that Jay Prince does. He would never throw his daughter under the bus and called her a thought the way BGS did. He would never allow his daughter to go up on a platform to where he would know that there are grown men up there that's subject to say some foul shit to her. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And then try and justify it for 3 days on the stream. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I ain't got to call out no names. If my sons ever went back on the YouTube and looked at some of the shit that I put out, they were saying, damn, that's my pops. That's my pops right there.
Yeah, that's what they're going to say. Oh, you're her father. When I meet the parent, the teachers and shit. Oh, you're her father. Oh, it's so very nice to meet you. We go to these schools and shit, these old white men, right? Oh, you're her father. Oh, it's so very good to meet you. Yeah, 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 yeah. But hey, to each his own. To each his own. But hey man, we here for the algorithm.
And folks, you know how you know that you make an impact on your children? You listen to the way your children talk when they come back from school. And your children will tell you that they talk about their parents. My daddy, my mama, or my uncle. That's how you know your children revere you, because they take what they learned from you and take out to the world. My mama says not to do this. My uncle says never hold your tongue. My nephews live by that. My nieces live by that.
You want the fame, you got it, bruh. Now you hood famous. Now take everything that comes with it. Take everything that comes with it.
Don't talk about the hospital. You know you're wrong bringing up a hospital. I ain't gonna say it.
Never going to go to jail.
The conversation that happened. Why are you so easily offended?
It's this new crop of internet fame is you got some crash outs looking to crash out, security or not. Okay. I think that's my rant. We'll get into all this nonsense and try to make some sense of it, but none of the stuff makes sense. But I just find it funny that a lot of people are wanting to invoke the prison logic into a situation involving two civilians that have never seen the inside of a prison cell, let alone a jail cell, right? And the fact that Anton is so confident that he's never going to go to jail, nigga, that's CI talk. That's
okay.
CI. That's how CIs talk, nigga. I ain't never going to jail.
Okay, and if you don't know what CI is, Anton, that's confidential informant. That means you telling on some motherfuckers to stay out of jail. That's CI for a motherfucker to be that confident that he ain't never gonna go to jail. That confident. Right, Sharp. See, that's why I listened. This is why I listened to this brother right here, because he knows the history of Anton. That's why I chose, of all the streams that I could have reviewed, I chose this one, because this man, Super Sly, is speaking from experience. Am I lying, Sharp? Is he not speaking from experience? He's always had Anton in his crosshairs. He's always been calling Anton out for his bullshit. See that? She says it. I'm telling the truth.
Right? That's what Star says. He's never going to jail because he's going to tell. So that tells me, Anton, yeah, you telling. If some shit go down, you tell me. Yeah.
I'm going to get out of that.
Thank you for the heads up.
I'm going to get out of that, Angelica. I'm going to get out of that. She said, maybe he was thinking that him and Fleece Johnson could meet up. I'm going to get out of that. Platinum Elite, I'm gonna continue to use that, but every once in a while I gotta give you credit for that, bro. I stole that line from you. I'm gonna get out of that.
I mean, you can look at him and tell it don't take much, right? Okay, we here for the nonsense, as are you. So let's do this first. Let's do a recap of what happened last night towards the very end.
Okay.
Now, somebody said to me, hey, Sly, check out how he mentions Darlene.
Okay.
Did he confirm they were in a relationship? And I said, oh, I said, you caught that? I said, Okay, let's take a listen. I said, let's go back and check that out. Because I may have missed that. Did anybody else catch that?
Yeah, I did. Go ahead.
Where Corey may have alluded to him and Darlene in a relationship, and part of the reason why he was so mad at Anton, because apparently Anton was trying to mac on Darlene.
No, it wasn't trying to mac on it.
Supposedly.
No.
This is all fiction. None of this is real. This is science fiction. This is urban fiction. Did anybody catch that?
No, I didn't get the Mac part.
Yes,
but I think he was there to try and.
Don't think he confirmed it?
No, I think he was there to compare his chick that he brought there to Darlene. I think he brought the chick there to try and feed off what Darlene was doing. And I think Corey was caught wind of that. That's what I think. I think he was there. He brought the side chick there because he wants to do a show that's similar to what Corey's doing. So this is notice how she handles that part of the show.
Okay, so let's get all caught up to speed. Last episode on Nigga Ball Z, I want to catch the rant. I want to catch Corey's rant after he left, and then after that, then we're gonna go to Yuck Mouth TV. Okay, and I'm disappointed in these West Coast dudes that glaze the fuck out of Anton. Oh my god, I'm so disappointed in so many black people tonight. Come on, let's go.
Said you felt disrespected, so I am telling you that I disrespected you if that's the way you felt. Is that not what you said? You said that out of your mouth. And so I apologized when you said that you felt disrespected.
No. The reason you said you disrespected me in my face.
Because you don't accept the apology because you still
talking about everybody else except yourself and white men.
I'm telling you what I said. You felt offended by it, so I apologize. All I'm doing is rehashing a conversation that happened. Why are you so easily offended?
You still talking about me? It sounds like I'm arguing
because I'm right. See,
I'll be around bitches and they tell me about myself all the time. Be gone.
No.
That shit don't hurt no feelings.
And he's right about that. Anton is arguing like a chick. But see right there, let me see right there when he stood up. There's absolutely no way that I was in a heated discussion like that I would allow that I would have still been sitting down, because at that point, look where Anton's hand is at. All he had to do was ball it up. And Corey had no defense of that. That's how I know neither one of these niggas wanted to fight. Hey, Shar, how you doing? Welcome in. Come on in. What you got so far? Can you hear me, Shar? Uh-oh. If you're talking, Shar, I can't hear you. Right? Neither one of these niggas wanted to fight, folks. Neither one of them wanted to fight each other. Say what they want to. Shar, are you there? No, still can't hear you, Shar. I don't see any movement on your microphone either. You might, there it is. I heard something, but I don't hear you. No, still don't hear you. I hear something moving, Shar, but I don't hear you. No, you might want to try and leave and come back. Think that might work? But no, neither one of them folks wanted to fight, folks. Look, let's continue.
It's probably better this way
because I just proved my point.
Be down. So you prove.
Don't that sound like the end to an opera show? Baby, it's better this way. We heard each other things what we wanted to say. We could have been so good together. We could have shared this stage forever. But now you're gone and piss me off. I'm never gonna dance again. I'm just saying. Don't that sound like more than two niggas wanting to fight? Yeah.
The point, homie, just gone, man. Just gone, man. You gone. You done did this before. Get your bitch ass hey, homie, get your bitch ass the fuck on and walk over there with your bodyguard and your bitch, nigga. Walk over there with your bodyguard and your bitch. I got shit to do.
Now, let me ask y'all a question. All you security guys, he has security. Now, why didn't security intervene the first time when Corey got all in his personal space?
Absolutely, Sly. What are you paying him for? As soon as Corey pulled up the first time with that chair, security should have been there. But Sly, you gonna pull up something that what made me choose your video over others. You hit the nail on the head with it, brother.
So security failed to do their job the first go round.
Right.
Your client is in imminent danger.
Right.
His personal space has been violated.
Right.
Corey could have done anything he wanted to Anton, and security couldn't have done nothing about it. So why was not security? Why didn't they do their job the first go round?
Good.
Once again, had it been Sven or Bjorn or Thorn,
what's up,
or
KC
Ule,
Customs? How you doing?
That never would have taken place. Okay. But let's continue. Let's continue.
Ooh, don't bring bitches up here, dog, that you ain't finna stand on. Remember I told you that. If you got a bitch with you, explain the bitch.
Okay, now then y'all said you accused Corey of dirty macking, trying to blow up his spot. Well, we'll get to that later, but come on.
Don't ask her to be on my show, nigga. Can she be on the show? I don't know that bitch, nigga. Now get your whole ass the fuck on and pay for your pussy like you got to, cake ass nigga.
Oh, and that got glazed over, folks. A lot of folks, they just stepped right on over that. They avoided that landmine all they wanted to. Anton, is you out here paying for it? Is you out here paying folks like Kevin Samuels? As you bringing $2 hoes to a Mike Tyson fight? Is that what you're doing? Is you paying for folks to be in your presence? Is you paying for folks to escort you around? Not only are you playing for bodyguards, because let me understand something, Anton. For someone that's just a YouTuber, you got to be saying some pretty fucked up shit to a whole lot of people, about a whole lot of people to even need a bodyguard. When my YouTube career starts to threaten my safety, it's time to shut this shit down. When I got to worry about paying a motherfucker to take me to the 7-Eleven or a company to the mall, and I'm not making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, I wonder why. I know Marvin don't walk around with a bodyguard either, do we? Hey, Aisha, I hope I'm saying your name right. Aisha Smith, welcome. I see Shar, I think you just came back in. Hey, Shar, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
There you are. There you are. Now I can hear you. Welcome in. Welcome in. What you got to say? Join the platform. Join the festivities.
All right. Well, I think the bodyguard, he's a ploy. This is a whole stunt, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The bodyguard was going to jump in, so he wouldn't rough up his hands or anything. Trying to fight back or protect himself more so, if anything. But that's what I think happened here. I got more to say, but go ahead and play.
So this, I ask you. So this was a offshoot of the Jerry Springer show. Jerry, that was all that was missing.
Yes, but I don't really think Corey had that intention or anything. I think this is all Anton's plot.
All Anton's plot. That's what I'm leading to that too. I think Corey Holcomb was kind of blindsided by the game Anton wanted to play, and that's what I mean. If Corey was a little bit astute at this game, he would have noticed this from the beginning.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Go get you a bodyguard, because the nigga be to slap the shit out your bitch ass. I got shit to do. I ain't finna follow that nigga out the door. I am who I say I am. I stand on it. Fuck a free.
Once again, you're missing the whole point. That's not Roscoe. If you pay somebody to guard you, you're paying somebody to possibly take a bullet for you or a knife wound to you. We don't have time to figure out if the person is soft. Either the person is a threat or a non-threat. Bruh, what are you saying right now? Okay?
Go ahead, Char.
Bingo.
Right. That's it. And that's what those bodyguards are there for. They don't have time.
It's only one. He only had enough money for one. So okay.
Only had enough money for one.
Only was one now. Come on, there was no guards.
Even right.
Can't add the woman. She was a co-host.
Right. So even that one bodyguard should have jumped in the way.
Yeah, the bodyguard was ready. The bodyguard was ready.
But from what we've seen on the screenshot, did we ever see the bodyguard?
No.
Never. When Corey first switched seats with Darlene, did we see the bodyguard intervene?
No.
No. I don't know how many of you folks have seen this video here before or checked out the Super Slides live show. I know you did, but you know what I'm about to roll into, right?
Go ahead.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let me show you how. If you're gonna have urban security, yeah. Thank you, Big Pontiac. Yeah. Let's do that, because some of y'all, I don't know, some of y'all's thought process right now is mind-boggling to me. I'm not paying you to determine if the nigga is soft. I'm paying you to stand in front of me and take this.
Thank you, Super Slide. I'm not paying you to determine whether this nigga is soft or what his intention is. I'm paying you that anytime you perceive shit as a threat, whether I do or not, you need to act. I shouldn't have to yell, "Hey man, what's going on?" Am I wrong?
No, and that's funny because you see how you see how quickly Anton was ready to get up and move on out the way, because he didn't want nothing to happen right there in front of the camera. That's why he wanted to take it outside.
Right, take that shit
He
out
wanted
back.
to take it off view.
It was going to be a double team, Shark. Him and the bodyguard was going to get it.
He didn't want no camera action. That's why he got up and moved. I'm
Wait
gonna tell
a
you
minute.
what this whole. I'm gonna tell you what his.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you what his whole year is gonna be like. But just keep playing. We'll get there.
But wait a minute. Before I accept play, he said on his stream though, if Corey Holcomb would have done to me, I'd have beat the shit out of him.
Oh, he wouldn't have done nothing. He ain't have a fight since his nephew knocked his teeth out.
He ain't had a fight since a fight had him.
Right. That's why his teeth are the way it is. Nephew knocked him out for him. Go ahead.
Knock him out, John.
Bullet. Possibly sacrificing your life for me to go home to my wife and kids, while your wife and kids be like, "Daddy not coming home. He died on the job." Let's go back to this video here. Okay?
I heard I was going to be on the TV with this attorney, so to dress like a lawyer.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought it was a sports thing. I would come relaxing. I think that.
Now, even though Joe Frazier can handle.
Now, I know what we're about to see on the screen is long before a lot of you folks' time right here. But if you were a kid in the 1976 to mid 70s, and if you grew up in South Carolina, Georgia, or whatever, you hated this man on the left side of the screen. If you grew up in Charleston, South Carolina, Beaufort, South Carolina, that was our hero. The guy with the light color clothes on. You know why? Because every chance, no disrespect, well, I gotta call it where I gotta call it. Every chance in the 1970s that Muhammad Ali had a chance to shit on darker people, he did. He did. Go back and look for yourself. Not taking away from his greatness. Everybody has flaws, but this is one of Ali's flaws. Listen to how he talks to Joe Frazier. Go back and look at some of the ways that he talked to Ernie Shavers or other dark-skinned boxers. He called them monkeys, apes, illiterate. And he can't say that he wasn't doing it on purpose, because he was. Because Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, was a brilliant man. So if you was down in the South, Joe Frazier was our hero. Everybody, when the Thriller and Manila and all that was going on, we was rooting for Joe Frazier to kick Ali's ass. Shut that big mouth lunatic up. That's what they were saying down here in the South. Shut him up. Somebody need to shut him up. Welcome there, Roni. It's 45, Roni. I can't see what's going on the other side. I see there's some activity going on. Thank you, Miss J. Lynn, for acknowledging those folks that's coming in on the other side of things. Really do appreciate it, folks. Again, like, share, and subscribe if you don't mind. Don't ask you for your money or your coins. It's best. The best thing that I could ever offer anyone is to get the word out. So if you folks don't mind, like, share, and subscribe. Let your folks know what's going on. Herbert Scott, thank you so very much for jumping in. He sure did. He sure did. He sure did, Black Hawk. He sure did.
Himself against any man on the planet. Security's like, no. That's our job, Joe. Your job is to box in the ring. Your job is not out here. That's us. Okay? You got one job to do, train and fight in the ring. We'll take care of everything. I don't think y'all understand how the security thing works, but come on.
You look good, Joe. You don't explain why you dress like you are.
Well, that's good. I'm a dresser.
You look good, Joe.
I feel good, too. That's what I feel like I should dress for this kind of show.
I decided to put Ali on the left, Frazier in the middle, and Howard on the right. Howard said to me, well, that's not the way we usually do it. We usually do it with me separating the two.
Now, Howard Cosell, again, you can say what you want about him, but he was probably one of the greatest sportscasters of that time. And he understood the volatility that was going to go on between these two men, or because he interviewed a lot of boxers, a lot of sports people, and all that. He knew to separate these two. But even back then, they knew that bullshit sold. So they decided, the powers that be decided to put these two men together, which is an easy access. So here it again, this is how I'm equating this to Anton. As a bodyguard, you are about to see a la Super Sly 75, what should have happened.
Interviewees. And I said, Howard, I think I'm going to get more out of it by the two of them sitting together.
You just got too many white followers. They don't like it for that. They figure you must be a good boy.
Yeah, good boy.
For the first 5 or 6 rounds, Ali was taunting Joe as they were narrating the fight, which was the normal thing for Ali.
All you people watching this show, look at Joe Frazier's head now. But watching real, which one you talking about?
Then as it wore on, Joe was becoming a little bit more frustrated with it. And at one point, Joe said to Ali, you went to the hospital.
That's when he went to the hospital now.
Don't talk about the hospital. You know you're wrong bringing up a hospital. I ain't gonna say about the hospital.
You don't want to mention.
I went to the hospital for 10 minutes. You went for a month. Now be quiet.
At that point, Ali said, you're ignorant.
Stop ignorant. What difference? Why'd you bring up the hospital?
Don't that remind you of what happened to Anton and Corey Holcomb? At some point in time, Corey's Holcomb's insults got the best of Anton, just like with Joe Frazier and Ali. So, to combat all of that, one thing that he knew that Corey Holcomb was going to fire on was what? To say that in this case, he's a tallywhacker. But in this case, Ali knew by calling George Foreman ignorant that was going to get him. No, excuse me. That said George Foreman. Excuse me, Joe Frazier. By calling Joe Frazier ignorant, that was going to get some ire out of Joe, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Again, great analogy there, Super Sly. I would have never thought of this. Great analogy, though, brother.
And Joe stood up, ripped off his microphone, and said, what do you mean I'm ignorant?
You caught that, HT?
hey, we not, listen. How many shots could Joe have fired off on Ali? But the man's is already in place right now.
Okay. Another thing about this is Sly asks is how many shots. If Joe Frazier wanted to pop Ali, he could have already popped him a couple times, because still the bodyguard is quite a distance from him. So when Joe stood up, if he wanted to hit Ali, he could have. But Joe Frazier took the fighter stance, and I'll show you what I mean.
People are making them, hey. Yeah, there was nobody next to Corey to stop Corey. Darlene don't count. Once again, nigga, you got paid security. I need to they better make some screen time. They better have some screen time if shit go left.
Right.
As soon as Joe stood up, hit everybody's.
Now, Char, what is the major difference you see so far between Anton's security and Ali's and Joe Frazier's security?
He was better security right here, because like you said, whoever he paid, he got a good discount, and but the person was supposed to be ready, because that's what it's all about. Even if you would go back to frickin' Frack, what's their name? They have Froggy Face and
Fresh and Fit.
Yeah, them two. The camera went to the bodyguard when something had happened. I can't remember who played what, some couple of years ago, but that's what it's about. You have to have a bodyguard.
And
But
I know the clip that you're talking about was the one that he got in the fight with the black women, and the big body car got in between Sotomayor and the woman.
I think that was it. If it's not, it's
Mhm.
just something like that. But the whole
Mhm.
point of a bodyguard is to protect the body. And like I said, Anton set it up. That's why he moved out the way, because there's no way he gonna look bad in front of the camera. So he's like, "Oh, come on,
Right.
let's go outside." Why? The camera is right here. No, you don't want to do that because
Right.
you don't want you don't want people to see the bodyguard. It's gonna handle everything, and it'll be a big thing, and you're gonna run in the car with the girl and say, "I don't can't believe what happened."
Right. Is it going to be that there he is? Get him.
Right. So I already know. I already know. I'm gonna tell you the whole what this year is gonna look like with him. But go ahead.
He's going to be like a Dave Chappelle. Security, do with him what you wish.
Yep.
Coming. Here we go. Sit down, Joe.
Sit down quick, Joe.
Well, we're having a scene, as you can see, and it's hard to tell whether it's clowning or for real between the two fighters.
Howard sat there calmly, like he was doing a fight in the ring. He was calling the fight in the studio.
Joe Frazier is really angry. Muhammad called him ignorant, and he's really angry. I don't think this one is clowning at all.
It was sort of crazy in the control room. Certainly, we never expected that to happen. We never expected them to.
Once again, and I love Joe Frazier for this shit. Like, you can get it too. So before I fire off on this dude, I'm gonna get you first.
That's right.
What are you talking about?
That's right.
This is the look.
That's the look that nigga don't grab me. That's what that look was. That's that look. Don't grab me, nigga, or you'll be the first one I take out. Look,
You know what's good for you. That's
right,
that look.
right. That stance that Joe Frazier has right there, folks. Every lick that's gonna come from him gonna hurt. Jar, anything?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Here we go.
Of a black man, a strong black man, like, nigga, what? You know what I'm saying? Hey, these kids, these guys that ain't built like this, man. They ain't built like this. Y'all ain't been through. Y'all know what struggle and strife is, man. Okay, let's get back to this, because I want to catch Corey's rant. I want to hear Corey's rant. All right, and you notice Corey changed the thumbnail. Corey took Anton out of the thumbnail.
Yep.
Okay, did y'all catch that? Come on, let's get to it. I want to hear this rant.
Now, who the next motherfucker to come up here? What up?
There's a new word in the dictionary called rage bait, right? So that's what you just witnessed. So
Rage bait. Let me tell you something.
It's a new word.
That ain't no new word.
Okay, bet. It's
Let me tell you something.
new word.
Where I'm from, if a nigga say something about sucking dick, nigga, it's on.
And he knows
I don't know nothing about no niggas saying nothing to no nigga where niggas talk about suck dick and niggas be ready to swing.
And he knows that.
But he didn't say that dick sucking shit again. Get your fat ass out.
Well, see, that's my point, Corey. I'd have knocked that nigga out from the beginning. If you were that upset about it, correct me if I'm wrong, Shard, but he seems to be quite upset about it. Wouldn't you have expected that at some point during this rant now, he would have said, yeah, I hit that nigga once?
Yeah, but you know what? We don't know what's going on with this man. We don't know if he's involved in any lawsuits or anything, that parole, any of that. And that may be why he did not do anything. But on a normal day, he would have.
Again, one of my old sayings, discretion be the better part of valor. I pointed that out on Sharon Bracey's platform when he was playing it up there for the first time once in the next morning, the morning after pill, so to speak. And that's what I said. I typed in the chat room. Discretion was a better part of valor. Darlene whispered is in his ear. Nigga, you got too much to lose.
Okay.
Just stop this shit.
Trust me, she knows that man's business more than anybody else.
Better than anybody else.
And she cares enough about him to say, no, this ain't it. This ain't it.
And you're like, let me go back to that right there, Black Hawk. That was if you remember, if you go back into the annals of that fight, Frazier put a brutal beating on Ali. He really did. When I say brutal, I mean brutal. Broke his jaw. That shit looked like he got stung by 600 bees.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Nigga.
Just certain words
That's
you
a
just don't
hating.
use.
In here with this bitch that he know ain't his wife and motherfucker trying to get the bitch on the show. Bitch, nigga, you ain't got it like that, nigga. Get your cake ass out of here, nigga.
Okay, now I don't understand why Anton would try to do this. Nick, Anton, your platform is bigger than Corey's, so just run her through your platform. Why would she need to go? Now I have a theory. I have a theory as to why he brought the Mika chick and tried to get her on to onto Corey's platform. Legitimacy.
Yep.
Legitimacy.
That's it. A woman got to validate
because
you. That's
Corey's
now, Sharp.
I was talking. That's the wine. Ignore that.
Right. No. Since you had a little snippet of the bubbly. Now remember, what was one of the very first things I said to you? I have to ask you to become the part of the radio team. What did I say? I know I can't do this without the support of women.
Yep.
When I said I had those folks evaluate my station, what was the one thing they told me that I had to have in order to be successful?
They said a woman.
A woman.
Yeah. See, let me go ahead since you gave me the floor. I'm going to go ahead.
Go right
All
ahead.
right. So we start off with the uploads. Then we had the what do you call it? Google Hangouts. Then we went to the platforms where there, people still hanging out, but what is it called? Live streaming. And then they do the boundary thing. Bounty. Yeah. Bounty thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they tried it with put some women on there. A lot of those
Women's.
yeah, a lot of those platforms, they kind of sizzled out a little bit because they lost some of the women that was the eye candy, and they kept
Women's.
switching. Oh yeah,
Somebody spell it out. Somebody spell it out for me. Women's. That's
and they
what you're talking
tried
about right
to.
now.
They switched that out, and now it's just old. Nobody
Women.
cares now. You talking about who brings what to the table. They don't care how pretty the woman is. It's like this is old. So the new thing is to have your studio with your couch with some person sitting on the left, some person is sitting on the right, and then the camera angle switches back and forth to the person's talking. That's what's going on now. That's
Legs
your Cam
crossed.
Newton. That's your
Legs crossed. Wait
what's
a
that
minute.
man name? The one who
He said
William was on there. Cat Williams show. What was that? Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp.
Your what's the white guy bald name? I can't think of his name. But that's what the new thing is. You got to have a studio and a guest.
Mm-hmm.
So Anton is just trying to launch that. So he got the woman. He got to get some, people to look at him. See, now people are going to go over there and look when he go live.
Women, gonna look at them women's.
And they're going to see his co-host.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're gonna, he's going to start having his guests. By near close to the November election, he going to have more white people on there. Because he gonna and what Corey was saying about him, that he speaks for white people and all that, you're gonna see more of that in maybe after summer or about the fall, because he's gonna ramp up. So you're gonna look at the guests that he's gonna bring on there, because that's what he's trying to do. He gonna all the people that he went to show the Fresh and Fit and all that, he gonna invite them over to the studio. Oh yeah, trust me. How to sell to a Negro.
Oh, see, you took the words out my mouth. Damn it. We've been around each other too long. Right. But isn't that what he's doing? How to sell to the Negro? And let me eliminate the closest competition that might have any opposition to me when I throw my hat into the ring of a podcast with I don't know how you feel about Darlene or whatever. Some say she's attractive, some say she's not. That's up to the beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But what I remember from Anton's panel, when he did have women on the panel, it wasn't women, it was women's. Thighs high, titties out.
But it still was the eye candy that got.
They got you coming. Got them coming over there.
To go right, and
yes.
then pay the bounty to get to talk and all this stuff, and then it got old and tired, and now it's time to move on to the next thing, which is the studio. So that's why whatever problem Anton has with his wife, he's moving on to live in another
Now,
residence, and his wife is raising that daughter. It's time
isn't
for
it,
college now. She's doing what
isn't
she
it
need to do
right?
for her baby.
Isn't that almost a foregone conclusion that there's no way that the way that Anton is moving, wouldn't it be fair to say that some people are saying that his marriage is in shambles?
Oh, it's been in shambles. You could smell that a few years ago, and that's
No
why
wonder.
Anton felt some kind of way about when what's his name called it out. But I'm with Sly. Men know when they're married, they know. It's just certain things your wife is not
You
gonna
don't
put up
do
with,
right.
and as men, you all know some stuff your wife is like, no, man, I can't do
No,
that.
that right.
No, man,
No, that's
no,
not that. No,
dog.
no, dog. Not that. I ain't with that. I ain't with it. And if you choose to do that, you know what that means. Like Angry Man, I'm not telling you to quit your podcasting endeavors, but take that shit outside.
Oh, you gotta go outside in the
In
rain.
the rain. Come on, so let's do a duet. May sound crazy, but that
But
nigga is broadcasting
outside
outside.
on the porch.
He on the front porch, live
I
from
couldn't
the
believe
front
somebody
porch
showed me that
in North
screenshot, and I'm
Carolina.
like, and
On the
you
front
can't.
porch.
You just start doing that in the wintertime.
Ooh.
Ain't nobody no fool. But
And
anyway,
right down in North and South Carolina, it don't really start getting cold till like January, February. So what you gonna do, Angry Man?
stay out on that porch.
Put on them long johns?
And maybe,
Turn
I don't know,
into
light up some stuff. I don't
turn it
know.
turn into a pirate? Shiver me timbers. Get it?
Proud Black Hawk, I would say I disagree. I don't think he's trying to come back to no black community. Um, no. Nope.
No,
He
I don't
can't.
think so either. No,
He
I don't think
can't.
he can, Black Hawk. I don't think
Nope.
he can.
I
No.
mean, with your eyes, you could see what's going on. You're not agreeing with some of that stuff, the foolishness. Now, I will say he would like to cater to some of that audience, yeah,
Yeah,
because they would watch,
black
but
women's.
he's going over to the dark side. He's gonna
Yeah,
have the white folks on there talking crazy. That's
I
what
would
he's gonna
agree.
be doing.
I'll agree with that. Let's play a little bit more here, short, because I didn't realize I was almost at the 3.5 hour. Well, I'm over 3.5 hours. You know, I must have had a lot to say if I'm on this long, huh?
People take
Okay.
what Corey says very serious, very dear to heart. You get the stamp of Corey's approval that opens the floodgates. Yes? So what Anton was trying to do was legitimize Mika.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's the only reason I could come up with, because like I said, Anton does more numbers than Corey, bigger platform than Corey, has more reach than Corey. So it would not be, but it wouldn't make sense for him to bring her there unless he's trying to legitimize the Mika chick, like she's okay. If 5150, approves her, she's good to go. She's good money. And that also creates a pipeline for Anton to bring other content creators that sign to him through Corey. It's almost like the Charlemagne with his iHeartRadio podcast. Sign a bunch of podcasters, bring them through the iHeartMedia. Now they're going to go through Netflix. They're legitimized. Okay?
Good point.
Let's continue.
Like, I'm finna be upset. This is what I wanted to talk about today, mainly. We have a situation in America going on where there are a lot of men that don't.
It's not about connections. He's trying to legitimize her through the chitlin circuit. It's not about connections. It's about acceptance. If I can get her accepted on multiple platforms, she's good to go. It's not about connections.
Good point.
You make inroads into these different spaces. You create a pipeline for your people to come through. You create your own connections.
Don't want to reveal themselves, but they have bitterness because they know you're not the type of guy they are on the Backdoria side of the game. Let me say this one more time. There's a lot of men in this world that don't want to reveal themselves, but they're upset at men who expose Backdoria, so they find other ways to talk about you, and they will never reveal who they are. I want to start a campaign.
There's other parts of this rant I want to listen to. I've heard bits and pieces I need to hear. I want to catch.
I talked to a couple of people I know today. A good sissy.
I don't care about the sissy part.
You don't agree with the Backdoria behavior, but if they don't want to come at you like, I know you don't like Backdoria behavior, they come at you with something else. It's the curveball effect. So we have to teach these guys how to be good sissies. Hold on.
I got to
say, on the phone.
Hey, again, remember, he would rather storm off than talk shit about
He's done that before.
men.
He's done that. He didn't never say nothing about white men.
Democratic shit.
Right. He didn't never say nothing about white men.
Off. He wouldn't say shit about
But he didn't have to say nothing about white men. If he just said something about me sucking dick again, I was already looking at that eyeball because that's what I wanted. I wanted that nigga to be on
Now,
that.
once again, why would Anton need to say that one more time? You heard him the first time.
And that's the point that I'm saying too. There, that's when braggadocious become what woulda, coulda, shoulda. It wouldn't have been no question about whether I was going to hit Anton or not. If you piss me off to the level that I feel that I got to strike out against you, believe me, you're not going to ask. You're not going to think I'm just going to hit you. There's every man has trigger words, especially when it comes to dealing with other men that you simply will not accept another man saying to you. And I simply will not accept another man standing in front of me telling me that I'm about to put a tallywhacker in my mouth or offer me his tallywhacker, because I'm going to punch that nigga. Now, if he says it outside in the street somewhere, it's just me and him, who going to hear that? Nigga, you said this in front of thousands of people. That's going to be replayed after replayed. That's going to be analyzed and slowed down, chopped and screwed. Nigga, I got to hit you so they can analyze me chopping and screwing you while you hitting that flow from that lick. No, believe me, the conversation wouldn't be about what you said. It's about what happened to you after you said it. That would be the conversation. Sure.
I'm still baffled over what Blackhawk said, but
what do you say?
I will pay. Excuse me. I will keep a note on that and see what's going on and see if that lines up. Because I don't know. I get is hearsay. But if that's the play, if that's the new play, it's unfortunate if people fall for that, because they are being played if they fall for that. Because now I know it's about money, because we are the Negro that will give money. Oh, okay, here you go. Let me help out. We do that. So if that's what's going on, it's definitely about the money.
Right. Well, I can tell you one damn thing for sure. If Angry Man tell you that he is now in love, he likes black women, just ask him this one question. Wait a minute. So I guess Latin women start not smelling too good anymore, because according to you, it's a scientific fact. And I'm not pulling this to say anything against Latino women, but this is what Angry Man said. Okay, so let me use the quotation marks. I quote, "It's a proven fact, scientific fact, that Latino women smell better than black women."
I think somebody had a T-shirt of it, if I'm not mistaken.
Y'all black women gonna let him forget that? Y'all gonna let him forget about that when he come and say how much he loved black women? Is the breeze rolled in another direction for Angry Man all of a sudden? I'm just saying. Let's do a little bit more of this before we get on up out of here.
Okay. Once again, in prison, there is no "what'd you say?" or "say it again," or "say it again to my face." That's not how this works.
Sure don't. What's up there, Alex? How you doing, good brother? Alex Brandon, how you doing? It absolutely does not work that way, my man. Super Sly. Doesn't work that way. You say some foul shit to me like that. Again, to quote the great, late great Charlie Murphy, something got to go. We got to go. I got to challenge you. There should have been some tables being suddenly uprooted there. That one statement alone, like I said, the video would have been 17 minutes and 51 seconds long.
When someone says, "Yo, I got you. I'm gonna see you. We'll meet up." What'd you say? Run it back by me again? Repeat that, por favor. That's not how this works. When somebody openly says, I got you, bet I'll be seeing you, you know it's go time. You better get on the floor, get your little piece of steel, and get the sharpening.
I'm hitting you with something.
Okay? Because the next time you go on yard, it's going down.
Yes, sir.
Get with your peoples. They already know it's a problem. Is it going to be one-on-one, or is it going to be a race thing?
Okay. Which one?
Y'all want to apply prison logic to this nonsense here. You cannot have it both ways.
Podcast like this.
He wouldn't look a white man in the eye.
If he'd have said something about sucking dick right there, I was finna found that nigga, and whatever come with it, I'll be having to spend some more money in court because I don't want no court cases. In fact, I really can't have a court case right now because I got shit going on with court cases. But I am a man, and you can't step to me with that dick sucking shit like right here. I can see if you.
Like I said, that's why discretion be the better part of valor. Corey knew better.
Going on, yeah.
Yeah, and there's some other things going on. That could have been what Darlene whispered to him. That could have been the forefront. But again, discretion be the better part of valor. So there's now a prime example of what I mean by that, folks. This man is now telling you, I didn't fire on him for this reason. And it probably was a valid enough reason. Would you want to spend your time in jail behind beating up this clown?
And
Would you want to do? Go ahead, Shaw.
I was going to say, and I tell you one thing, just look at people when they have to defend themselves in court. It is not cheap. So they're going to like, oh, he got so many people and he watched this and he do this. And trust me, some of us just want to come up on a lawsuit, and trust me, Mr. Daniels will file one. Just because,
right?
And tell you, I don't need the money. I just, it's just on principle. It's just on principle.
Right.
Check my Patreon. I'll talk about it there.
Check it out, right? Check it out, right? After you done sued Corey, talking about it ain't the principle. Yeah, it is. It's the principle of how much money you gonna get. That's what it is. Stop it, because you know damn well if Corey would have whipped his ass, you know that would have been a civil suit sooner or later.
Like out in the park arguing with a nigga, that nigga be like, "Fuck you, nigga, suck my dick." That's different. That's different. That's a nigga yelling, looking for it. But this motherfucker thought he was going to sit here and say to me something about sucking dick. I ain't even mad at the.
See, again, that's what I mean. I could play on both sides of the street because as a street dude, I know exactly. You can say that shit all you want to across the street. That don't mean nothing to me. But you said this in front of other folks. Now I got to deal with you. Now I got to cut you. What's up there, Ghetto Head Productions? How you doing? Well, Anton, I don't know if you'll ever see this video, but so far, everyone that's coming here, there's not too many people defending you, Anton. Am I missing something, Sean?
Not to know of.
Okay, I'm just saying, not too many people defending you, Anton.
Because I believe the nigga is weird, but that's okay. You could be weird. You just can't step to motherfuckers with dick sucking shit. Niggas fight. Niggas kill each other over that. And I really don't think he know that. Did he just say he ain't got no friends that been to jail? Did he really say that? Yeah. Who the fuck ain't got people that went to jail that live in Detroit?
Yeah. Okay.
The mayor went to jail.
I want y'all to understand that statement alone. Anton says he is from Detroit, but don't know nobody that went to jail. Detroit.
I guess everybody knew was in church.
Did you hear me?
He's a church boy. You know that, don't
Detroit? Yeah, he's a church boy. But somebody from that church went to jail. You know, Sister Sarah was over there talking about her son that went to jail.
Yeah, that's true. She did say that.
See?
She did say it.
Yeah, she did. He's out there being bad, girl. I tried to get him to go straight, tried to get him to come to church on Sunday with the rest of us. He ain't listen. Now he got to go sit down for a little while. So, Anton, you ain't run into none of them folks? You don't know nobody that ever been to jail. Let that make sense, folks.
How the fuck is you in Detroit? Man, I'll call all my Detroit niggas. Do y'all know a nigga that ain't been to jail? I mean, do y'all have any friends that ain't never been to jail? The only man who I know who would say that is a man who ain't bold enough to say nothing about the Caucasian responsibilities in America and what they did to make things go bad. But back on the good sissy, because we on the good sissy. We need to teach our men who indulge in that type of behavior how to be confident and honest about who they are.
Okay. Here's the problem. Listen, once again, you can't pick and choose when manhood shows up. I'm sorry. If somebody violates your personal space and in a very threatening manner, what are you supposed to do? Whether you're on camera or not.
And absolutely right, Slide. I just wanted to end that particular stream on that. Folks, if you want to watch the rest of this stream in its entirety, it is down in the link. But this is the point that I wish Corey would have pivoted to. I wish he would have pivoted more towards Anton did not speak ill of white people at any opportunity that Corey gave him to discredit that. To say that, yes, I do speak about, because he'll say go to his platform, but go over to Anton's platform. He's not talking about white men. He may every once in a while speak about some white women, the Rachel Dolezals. You know who I'm talking about. He might have even spoke about this young lady that got killed. Only why he spoke about it because he didn't agree with her. And she, as a white woman, went against white man's ideology. Remember, I told you the worst thing that you can call a white woman, according to them, and folks that think like them, is an end lover. Ask them. Ask any white woman, what's the worst thing that someone from their own tribe will call them? The end lover. You're an end lover. And Anton, for all that you was spewing over there, talking about that you help folks in your community, that you build this, you build that. No man that builds anything has to wonder why somebody else's greatness hasn't rubbed up on it, or why no one recognizes your greatness. Greatness is recognized right off. You don't have to go around telling people you're great if you are. Somebody else will let you know that, sir. You had your panties all in a bunch with some kind of real estate meeting that you wasn't part of. Am I wrong, Char?
Oh, no, you're not.
Why wasn't I invited? What you mean they don't know about me? Nigga, you on YouTube. And that's another thing I heard you say, that you don't have bosses. Let YouTube wake up tomorrow morning or tonight. Go to the algorithms and say, you know what, Anton, I don't like what you said on such and such a day. We're going to go ahead and take your channel from you. You ain't got no boss. You don't have to call YouTube back and say, hey, why y'all take my channel down?
Yeah, he's excellent with use his clips. He good at striking your channel. So we already know the truth.
Okay. Well, guess what? You can, hey, if you strike my channel, I got a whole radio station that I can light your ass up with. You can't strike that. And Discord works fine, so I can even get a video player and talk about you over there. Or go to the Island of Misfits called Rumble. That let me talk about anything over there. But Char, before we leave, before I get out of here, any closing thoughts? Wait a minute. I got to do this one more time. I'm sorry. I got to do this one more time.
Myself as Democrat or Republican, so I always a lifetime student. Let me also say that I don't identify myself as Democrat or Republican.
No, none of us do either. We identify you as a grifter, someone that's been very good at it. But just with anything, all good things, Anton, must come to an end. Maybe you should have rethought that visit with Corey, because now it put you on radar. So that means just like Trump, folks are going to want to find some dirt on you. This, what you see right here, is only the beginning of the shit that's going to come out about you, sir. You fucked with some real trolls over there with Corey Holcomb. Some trolls with some money. Tell me I'm wrong. Fuck around, let 50 Cent get a hold of this. I don't know. It's about me.
Okay.
Shaw, any closing remarks before we get out of here?
Waiter.
Waiter. Shout out, Maxine. It still cracks me up. Waiter. I don't know which one, waiter or wipers. Wipers? Come wipe that bitch shit off my screen.
Thank you.
Anyway, with that, ladies and gentlemen, remember, the grace of day costs you absolutely nothing, folks. Say hello to someone, might change the way they're thinking, might change the way they're living. You never know. If you walk past them, don't say hello. Again, if you're interested in it, folks, got some great smooth jazz going over at Classic R&B Jams Radio. The link is down in the description box. Jeff D is on tour for tomorrow. You can check out DJ Silky Red tomorrow night. Me on Sunday nights, Dreadhead Said, DJ Ed, all the great radio personalities at Classic R&B Jams. Again, thank y'all so very much for having me, but I got to go. Y'all be safe. Be cool.
Look, all you motherfuckers been snitching for him and shit. Now you standing up in here and goddamn it talking about preaching preacher. Fuck that nigga. Fuck that. I'm gonna shoot your ass too, motherfucker. Keep on. You gonna get shot too, nigga. You gonna get shot. God bless the fool, goddamn it. God bless the fool. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna end this goddamn thing. Look, where's that goddamn money bowl at? Who got that money bowl? We taking that money right now before you leave this bitch. We ain't leaving out here for free, motherfucker. Yeah. Y'all know the motherfucker ain't no good. You want, look,